Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good afternoon. Hello, welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Ninja Pulls. Teddy, not... And my cat is climbing aboard my desk. Teddy, I'm sorry, buddy. I love you, but you are actually not that welcome. So maybe take a hike, yeah? Thank you. Cats, huh? Anyway, thank you for that, Ted, for completely derailing my start to the stream. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for joining me again. Again, Maya is working all weekend. She come home a little bit early yesterday because she's not very well. But she's back at the coal face, so to speak, again today. Right, let's flip on over to the game and get going. And hey, Heart Hub. Good morning, Guns and Raiders. Zern Rekills. Zern Rickless. Hello there, hello. Belorda, Lily Dryad, Valley Door, Ted Meister, Lena Elvira, Moose. Zdenya, the Schnacks. Moose never heard of a happy cat owner. Oh, that's definitely not true. But my goodness. Timing is everything. Clocks go back tonight. Woohoo, yeah. So it won't be quite so dark when I get up in the morning and walk my dog. It's horrendously dark at the moment. Look at my chat window. What's going on with that? It's not where you live. Anyone else had the game be... It feels quite unresponsive. Like when I go to collect my mail or just want to do this. Everything takes a little bit... Oh, that was actually pretty fast, but... Everything feels a bit sluggish. I guess it's busy. Yeah, Moose, how was that woohoo? Longer in bed tomorrow. Isn't it the opposite? No. Yeah, the clocks go back, so yeah. Longer in bed. I hadn't even thought of that, but you're right, that is pretty nice. I'm a swamp hag, I live for dark. And earlier darkness, yeah. But we're going back to real time. What we're on now, that is the fake time, so to speak. Everything is artificially early. But yeah, I don't love leaving work. You know, like it's super dark at 4:30 or whatever, or 5 in the afternoon. That kind of sucks, but I do much prefer having light mornings. Like having to get up in the dark and head to work. That sucks. At least going home in the dark, it's kind of cozy, right? And likes to play catch. Good morning, everyone. Hello. How's it going? How you guys doing? Having a good day, good weekend so far? But Lord, we had a lot of rain and storm the past days. Wow. It's been pretty wet here, but nothing that dramatic. Akira Seska, hello there. Like that gif. Well, emote, you know what I mean. Alright, let's get straight into some daily nonsense here. I wanted to talk about survivability some more. Today that's a thread we can keep coming back to. Also wanted to talk about horror in ESO, because, you know, we've got the Witches Festival, which is, you know, sort of spooky and autumnal and all of that stuff. But actually, in terms of horror, it's a little bit light, considering how much horrific stuff there is in ESO. There's a lot. So I thought maybe we'd take another look at that. And it's funny that a game which does horror so well kind of wimps out and goes for the more pumpkins and ghosts and that kind of stuff for its Halloween event. But I guess that's fairly typical. Most, I know wintertime is normal time, but summer is superior. Gives me more light in the afternoon. Okay, let's say morning. Try explaining fake time to a kid. I think the best shot I had of explaining this was showing a video. It doesn't have to be real. It could be computer generated of the Earth's rotation and shadow moving across the world. You know, as it rotates and bits of it go dark. And that is very easy for a kid to understand. This is always happening, right? And then you point out that if we were just to take our measurement by the sun, an absolute time, then when you called your friend who lives 15 minutes away, you'd have to give them a slightly different time that you want to meet up. And, you know, when railways were first introduced, I think this is correct, that is when standard time really started to become a thing. Time zones were really implemented, because otherwise you would have awful problems with the train goes like 10 minutes down the track to the next town, and suddenly the time is different, and it fucks everything up. I don't know if that's entirely correct, but I remember hearing that. And as a result, we had to agree on and standardize, you know, the way that we do things. And summertime is just for, you know, for agricultural reasons, a thing that we do. But yeah, try explaining it to a kid. It's probably a good point. Schnacks, we a bit of storm and flooding. Nothing unusual. Yikes. Doesn't sound nice. So what? What have I got here? I've got a trial style Arcanist Nightblade setup. Let's take this into some solo stuff and see how terrible it is. The damage should be excellent. But man, I keep seeing people... I've been going around getting footage for this video. Soloing some Harrow Storm, soloing this and that. And I've literally... I don't think I'll use it in the video because it's mean. I think their name appears on screen. But I'm soloing this Harrow Storm. I get it all the way down. It's the Vampire Lord, I think. And some random player shows up with like 10% to go. And they immediately die. Their companion survives. But this player immediately dies. And it's just like the perfect illustration of what I'm talking about. People are ignoring all the survivability tools that the game has given us. And yeah, it's been very funny to go around and try and get the footage that I need. Oh, I'm just too late. But yeah, I want to see how squishy this feels. And as always, if there are any questions about builds that have to be to do with anything that I'm talking about, here to help. Also, I reckon it'll be fun to do more of what we did yesterday. Give me some things that were tricky to solo. I'll try and think of them as well. And we'll see how easy, or how possible, at least, they become once you implement the things that we've been talking about the last couple of days.
Over here, mercenary.
We don't need to solo stuff very often, but I actually play solo very rarely. I don't really solo dungeons unless it's sometimes for an endeavor. I'll do a quick Fungal Grotto 1, but that's just on normal. You don't need any of these tricks for that. Is the Maelstrom two-handed any good? Because it sounds good on paper. Wow. I guess you are not that worried about following the meta, Lily. It's probably the most popular set in the game right now in terms of backbar. So yes, your on-paper observation is absolutely correct. It is very good. Especially since direct damage is kind of king at the moment. I'm using it almost everywhere. If I can sustain it. Sometimes you can't sustain it. Man, the way they aggro on random players is funny, but also kind of annoying. You have to chase them around. Oh, the dual wield set? No, not really. Partly because of what I just said, direct damage is king right now. But yeah, you're absolutely right. On paper, it has been very popular in the past. There was a patch called Scale Breaker. I don't even know which update that was. Maybe late 20s? I'm not even sure. And it was very popular there because A, they buffed the set and dots were king. But think how weak dots are at the moment. They're really long and really weak. I may have placed my standard in the wrong place, never mind. If the build is dot optimized, yeah, but what does that even mean? I mean, put it this way, even dot crows don't use it. They shat on dots a while back, and they never changed the set, as far as I remember, to account for that shift. If you think about it, something like let's see if I still have any in my bank. I literally haven't kept any of them. Not a single one. I used to have several sets of this. But yeah, just to remind those who don't remember, when you use rapid strikes, you buff the next it's the next 3 seconds. Any dots are buffed. Yeah, Cruel Flurry, that's it. Your single target damage over time ability is used within 5 seconds, that's it. So it basically gives you can't really use it alongside Blast Bones, because then you have to keep firing Blast Bones and losing some of that. Rapid Strikes is not a particularly competitive spammable at the moment, and dots are weak. So back when you were adding dots are long and quite weak, so I'm sure it's not terrible. Like if you were to take a Corpse Burster type build, although again it's not a single target dot. And look at the skill lines which are popular at the moment. Herald of the Tome, single target dot, there's 1 in there. There are status effects, obviously. But those aren't, I don't think they count. Used within 5 seconds, yeah. Only abilities. So, if they just changed it to include status effects, that would be one thing. But look at the skill lines we're using. There's nothing here except the Imperfect Ring. There's nothing in Assassination. Couple of things. But literally only 2 in Ardent Flame. What else might we use? Storm Calling. There's nothing in there. There's nothing in Adric Spear. There's 1 in Dawn's Wrath. Yeah, there just aren't that many that we would use. So yeah, you're absolutely right. On paper, looks really good. As soon as you start filtering that tooltip through the reality of what we're currently using. But yeah, if you were to start with that set as your baseline and build everything around it, I'm sure you could get somewhere. But also, direct damage is king, cleave is king. This set focuses on single target dots, so yeah, it's kind of a rough spot for it, but it's one to keep an eye on, for sure. Nina Elvira, because I mostly do solo PvE, my character is optimized for solo, but I think since I'm multi-classed, I'm struggling to feel that it's as good as my OG single class was. Alright, well we could talk about that. Give me the deets. And yeah, Musa talking about dual wield, but Lord, no, the dual wield isn't good at all. A great guy. L9! Hello! How's it going? Yeah, Scalebreaker was 2019. It's when I started playing, pretty much. Yeah, it was one of the earliest patches where I actually read the patch notes. Hey, Root, how's it going? What graphics card are you using? GPU does not really matter for ESO. I can give you my specs if you really want, but you do not need a good GPU to run this game. It's quite CPU intensive, CPU limited. Yeah, but Lord, it's just buffing single target dots. Moose, no one should use rapid strikes. Dumbest animation I've ever seen. Even before we get into the animation, it's not a thing that I would advise. And I've been a big fan, a big proponent of rapid strikes for a long time. When other people weren't aware of how fucking awesome it was, I was using it, and I even remember a very proud moment. When we think of theory crafting and excessive DPS knowledge in this game, who do we think of? I think of Lucht. Yeah, no worries, Root. It's an RTX 3080 Ti, for what it's worth, but that's not, like I said, I don't think it's really relevant. I think of Lucht, and I remember a proud moment. He messaged me a while back after a Rapid Strikes DPS guide came out. I think it was a Nightblade using Rapid Strikes rather than a Surprise Attack. And every other guide was recommending Surprise Attack. He tried mine and found that it did more damage. And he was like, how did you know that? how did you actually test, like, everything? And I was like, not everything, but yeah, I test. That is how we find these things out. And I think if there was ever a point that the guy thought, oh, okay, Ninja Pulls isn't just talking the talk, maybe that was it.
It is better.
So yeah, I've been a big fan, big proponent of Rapid Strikes when it was good, but it's outclassed at the moment.
The 5 siege.
And yeah, what Moose said also, it's a horrible animation. Let's port to my house so we can remind ourselves just how dreadful the animation is. Wrote something about this girl yesterday which made Khan laugh. It's really the worst ever, yeah. The hate from Belorda. Schnax, yeah, I think I might be with you on this one. I'm low-key expecting Zos to change beams back to damage over time at some point next year. Without wanting to be too cruel, yeah, that would be very typical Zos, wouldn't it? But they'd have to figure out rapid rots and, you know, what to do about that, because that was the original thing. I'll tell you what, let's grab this guy. And let me just slot rapid strikes. Prepare yourselves, Belorda. This is going to be tough. Okay, so remember, it used to be you would stab repeatedly. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Sort of inwards. Like you were... almost like a saw blade. You go back and forth. Choo, 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 choo. Like that. Now this is what it looks like. Oh, fuck off, Celine. Like, what is he even doing?
This is not what I was built for. So this is how
It just takes Celine off. Most please, no, I'll have to replace my phone for being infected by that animation. And Belord, if they make it damage over time again, they have to undo the Azure Blight changes too. And most, yeah, I know people every now and then call for someone at ZOS to be fired. Whoever made this animation actually should be.
Start this at once, Apostle.
So the first bit, it's sort of... It's the second part of it that really baffles me. The first bit is not that bad. You know, they draw this hand back, the right hand goes back, the left hand comes up and strikes from the right, then the right hand follows through it and you get a double slash from right to left. That bit's okay.
Why, I never...
But then it's the recoil. What the fuck is that? It's so weird. I've always said it's like a drunkard fighting a swarm of bees.
And so it ends.
Like if you look at it from the side, it's even weirder.
Integral functions reinitiating.
And I'm moving the camera a little bit fast, maybe, but yeah. It looks too much like missed light attacks. It just doesn't look right. It looks so wrong, man. Anyway. Enough of that. Enough of that. Hey, I'm Destroyer. Thank you for the follow. How's it going? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Well, part of me was hoping to get skvushed. But, too many people doing this stuff. So it's not going to happen. I actually did, in order, you know what we were trying to do yesterday? Doing the Holojack boss with no major resolve and then with major resolve to prove how valuable it is. I did that again with the Crowborn Horror, but I killed it without major resolve. I survived. So, I mean, it's a lot easier with major resolve, but yeah, not exactly the point I was trying to make. So look, major resolve, it's so useful, it's so valuable, so important. Also need to show the skill style now. I don't even remember there is one. What are we talking? Skill style for rapid strikes? I don't have one. I don't really use skill styles. I've no objection to them, but I quite want to buy them, actually, when they come up. But I just don't use them, so I think it's stupid of me to spend money on it. Oh, I see. The one that's in the current crown crate. Sorry. It's not an Apex reward, is it? Where would it be? Legendary? I'm sorry, what? I think part of it might be the weird motion of the left arm. Because like I said, the left arm comes up and does like, it's like a backhand stroke with a tennis racket, right? Followed by the right hand. Sorry, coughing attack there. And then the right hand comes back across the belly. But it's supposed to hit 4 times. That looks like a 3-strike animation, does it not? I don't get it. It's a very, very interesting change. Like, I was dismayed by the change to the Templar jabs animation, but this is like, it is 10 times worse, isn't it? My first thought also, yeah, the character's drunk. Kidding, hello there. Did I say Friday? It's Saturday. Ground store, yeah. Assume they double it and show only one rotation in the preview. No, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, the last strike counts as both blades hitting at the same time. But the left blade doesn't do anything. The arm just comes down from above. And back to where it should be. So it doesn't even... It has the same problem as the original. Because I think the reason they changed it was because there were too many hits shown in the original animation. And it was a little bit long. Whatever. Very strange. Yeah, if you're not using daggers or swords, the old stabbing animation is not really logical either. That's true. But this just looks weird. Yeah, they don't need everything to be super duper logical, I guess. Like pummeling someone in the belly with the top of your hammer. It's not really how that weapon works, dude. Or with the top of your axe. Look at the sustain on this, though. It is crazy good. Can't just skipping execute completely. Meow. Thank you for that. I am a little bit worried that I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm a little bit concerned that, you know, after we've had all the conversations about what's okay, what's not so good about this event and so on, but by that, it's just so long before Phase 3 comes around. Are people going to be too bummed to actually bother to take part or to pay attention, so they won't realize that Phase 3 is actually really cool?
Excellent work,
Drunken
Five
Panda.
Star.
Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in and happy Saturday. How's it
Your
going?
strength is a welcome addition to
Oh,
the
Willow
cast.
likes the cat's
There
meow.
are
Well,
5
keep
of
it up
them,
then.
running
It's
north
free.
to south
But
along
order,
the
just
riding
make a new
wall.
skill. And, which adjusts to the type of weapon you're using. Yeah. As she says, just make a new animation. 4 different types. I suppose swords and daggers could be the same, couldn't they? And hammers and axes could probably be the same as well. So we only need to do 2. Mayun, hello there! Welcome back. I see lots of people doing event quests, so maybe no one will get bored yet. Yeah, I don't think so. We say one thing, but we tend to come back. Man, I got so many Wormride Jacks. It's crazy. If any of you find that you need one towards the end of the event, definitely hit me up. I'll probably have 10 of them at that point. Meow for
Hello
Willow.
there.
Hello there. Hey, Alatariel. How you doing? How was the trial yesterday? I saw the logs. I guess you guys had to stay a little bit late to get the clear. Still. That's pretty nice. I'm not sure if Jester had ever led one of those before, so I'm glad that glad the clear was in the bag. That's cool. I mean, hello. Why am I picking up extra ones of these? I don't need to do this. I suppose it's all for the war's progress, isn't it? I have to keep reminding myself of that. Alright. Ewan, why is it that I'm doing these siege camp quests and supply quests and everything and get nothing good from the boxes? But the moment I finish one siege camp on my boyfriend's account, he gets a Wormride chest piece from the siege chest. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Hey Lou, how's it going? Thank you for that entrance. Very threatening, very grandiose. I stood to attention. In the literal sense, not the metaphorical sense. Yeah, one more for the little one. Good morning, Lou. How's it going? I hope you guys are having a lovely, lovely weekend. If anyone is new to the channel, I should say, welcome to Ninja Balls Gaming. My name is Khan. I'm one half of the team here. The other half is at work. She might be joining us later, but we might also have to finish before that happens. Look at that hair. Hell yeah. Looks awesome.
Keep your wits about you
All the meows. I love it. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mune. I got zero motifs from the siege camp chests. Boo. I don't know. I'm happy with the drop rates so far. And I also don't really have the problem with the blue boxes not really containing anything good. But again, I think a lot of it is to do with expectations. That's what I expected. Could they be more enticing? Of course. I just never expected them to be. So I guess it didn't piss me off when I realized, no, the gold box is the main thing. After that, it's kind of, and like I said before, I'm grateful they don't work the way these do. Look at this. Short insect parts, I'll take it, but there's nothing I can do with this. Sure, it says it sells for 6k, but it fucking doesn't. It's only because someone has faked a 30k purchase. In 6 months, maybe it'll sell for 2 or 3k, but yeah, little rubbish. And I just have to go through and delete all of these or sell them. Thank goodness this event doesn't do that. But yeah, I've got quite a few Sturk motifs. I've got more Hashimoto scales than I could possibly use. Speaking of which, we just got a Sturk Fellowship daggers. Standard issue blades of the Stark Fellowship. Oh, come on, guys. Proofread. Should feature slightly curved blade. So in literally halfway through the first sentence, we've got 2 typos. Come on. As seen in several designs across the continent, to provide ease of use in tight spaces. It should be of watered steel when available, and the metal folded no less than 30 times to create 200 layers. Wow, fancy. Let's have a look. I'm not even sure what these look like. They're pretty nice. And Lou, back from the morning walk with the dog. Nice. Alataro say nice. I think we recovered last boss. Did not think we'd make it at that point. I see, yeah. Crikey. It is possible, though, for one of the tanks just to run around with everything for a little while. We discovered that on PTS. That if one of the tanks dies, the other one can just kite. Pretty much indefinitely. If they know what they're doing. Just need to get people up and deal with the bombs and such. But yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it was first time leading VOC for Jester. Yeah. And likes to play catch. Oh, yeah, thank you. She's absolutely crazy for cats. And turns 2-year-old next month. 2 years old next month. My nieces loved cats when they were very tiny. I think now that they've met a few, that may have worn off. To give them to other characters to consume. But you can't with a lot of... Oh, I see. But in the case of this, look. I've got Unknown Tracker. All of my characters already ate it. Like, so, that's how many useless drops I've had over the years. Yeah, the Stoic Fellowship weapons in general, Belord, I think aren't that great. Belord is saying the staff is a little disappointing. So simple. But yeah, what else do I have? So we've done... We could do a Soul and Dominion Lightweight Furs. Let's go and do that. Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And happy Saturday. Today we are doing, you know, the typical event stuff for a little bit. Then I thought we'd talk about horror in the Elder Scrolls, particularly ESO. Big fun. This is literally a dummy humping setup I've got right now on this character. Not a sausage yet.
Keep your eyes open. Witches festival or not, you gutless fools have a job to do.
Hey, Red Wolf. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Welcome to Ninja Pools. Why did I just spend a dread on nothing? It really sucks doing these on your own. Definitely the way to go is to do it with at least one other person. Oh. Actually got kind of lucky with that one. That was pretty quick. The Calaveras. I almost got excited and thought of Max Cavalera. But the Calaveras, you're very, very welcome. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. You already talked horror, Rapid Strikes animation. Yeah. And Vessens, hello! Hey, give it up for Vessens costumes, guys. How you doing? Moin moin. Wie geht's? If you don't know Vessens costumes, she's also an ESO streamer and cosplayer. She's just some really, really cool stuff. Prop maker as well. The works, you know, the real deal. Very exciting stuff. We've collaborated a couple of times, and she does great work. We had her on for a stream during Tenfest with your amazing Manamako costume. Go and hit that follow button, guys. You will not regret. Am I to understand that no one knows who Max Cavalera is, based on the fact that I said the name and no one went, oh!
Please, excellent.
For shame.
The work.
For shame, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Moose does. You just couldn't be bothered reacting to it. Good man. Ah, Cherish. There we go. Now we're talking. Not I know who he is. Not a huge fan. That is the wrong answer, my friend. I'm not a huge fan. But I'm a big fan. S-tier Owl, what a great name. Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Alright, what was I going to do next? Probably one of these. Charging the lens. Just cover my bases. I'm not going to be doing... I don't think I'll be spamming these today. Did that the first couple of days. They're fun enough, but... I think we got bigger fish to fry today. How dare you think that, man? I do be clueless. That's also fine. He is one of the big brains behind the band Sepultura. Very fucking cool. Some people credit that band with the whole groove metal genre. I don't know about that, but it's hard to like just put on Roots, Bloody Roots. Or the whole album actually, Roots. Good stuff. Mixing South American beats with death metal. Pretty sick. And they were there very, very early. Way back when. He also went on to, he's the guy behind Soulfly as well. He's just generally done loads of stuff in the heavy metal scene. Great vocalist too. So even though this is a very single targety setup, there's enough damage from the exploding rune blade and the occasional tentacular dread that it really doesn't matter, does it? Not in Overland. Vincent's moin. So weit, so gut. Yeah, so far, so good. Got a new medication because of my pregnancy and feeling already much better. Awesome. Well, may it all go as smoothly as possible. I know it's not your first rodeo, but... Did this person kill the boss? Yes, they did. Remember, public dungeon bosses drop tickets, so... Just one? What the fuck? Every other time I've been in here, it's been so generous. It's been so generous with the drops in here. Now I'm getting... There we go, now we're talking, finally. Should we just drop a standard and see how long it takes to kill him? Not very long. Poor standard. Still standarding. Getting nothing done. It's weird to think I'm on my main right now. This is my Nightblade. Dropping flails and standards and shit. It's like the horse swimming, the mount swimming thing. Like I'm used to it, I get it. I know it's there, but every now and again I'm still slightly taken aback. Because I played the game for such a long time without it. Yeah, alright, I see, yeah, how... I mean that no one knew, how dare you think that? Yeah. Don't know why, but I call them sandpit turtle. What? It's just Latin for grave, isn't it? We still have words like sepulchre and stuff like that. Anyone who's a goth or listens to Cradle of Filth knows all about that. Now we can do the group event while we're here. Had the album on cassette back in the day. Hell yeah! Cyborg gets a couple of high fives for that. That is awesome. Ah. That Clanfear was out of range. Oh, that was a boss. I forgot about that. Nice. Okay, let's build up to 3 Crux then. Zero healing on this guy. A little bit risky. The hitbox of this guy actually appears, so you can kill him before he lands. Look at that. I think he was just inside my standard. Did I do any damage with it? Yeah, I did. I mean, that's been possible for years, but it's still fun to kill him before he spawns in because the hitbox is already there. Never forget that. That's often really handy. It's not often a thing you can do in trials. Sometimes. But it's more like overworld, arenas, dungeons, that kind of thing. A boss will often do an elaborate animation. The Holojack boss does it all the time. And you can just stay on it, and you can continue to damage them, even though they actually might disappear. Right, we're done. That was fun. Most I still auto jump off my mount sometimes when I'm about to fall into the water, or I avoid water before remembering I won't dismount. I do the second one, yeah. And Vessens, thank you, I'm doing fine. Doing very well, in fact. In a good mood today. I was in a good mood yesterday as well. Hanging out with you guys, I'm sure that's what it is. Why am I... Good mood, but bad brain, apparently. Why am I riding there when I can just teleport? Oh, Zdenya, yeah, tell us more. Yesterday's beer craze was awesome. Found a local brewery here that makes an awesome imperial stout. Very, very thick and nice. You're talking about the, your companion, or... Oh, the beer. Sounds delicious. 8.5% alcohol, though, yeah. Not exactly a bingeable. I don't know why I use the term crushable for beers that you can just have a lot of back to back. So, you know, they're fairly light. They don't have to be light tasting, but they don't leave you with like that heavy, weighed down feeling. You just crush a whole bunch of them. But yeah, that's definitely not one of the above. I remember a mate of mine came over, we hadn't seen each other in like over a year. He'd been on I think he lost his job, and he went on a gap year. He'd never done one when he was a student. Just like, fuck this, I'm gonna go and travel around Southeast Asia. So he went and did that, and I hadn't seen him for over a year. And when he came over, this is a man who only ever drank like shitty lager. And I introduced him to just brown ales and stouts and, you know, not even anything fancy. And this is a British guy. And me, the Danish kid, had to introduce him when we were like 13, 14 or whatever, maybe 15, to ale and the joys thereof. And he became a massive convert. And I had this crate of stout delivered for us to session. And I was a bit of an idiot and didn't buy much lighter beer, like lagers and stuff, to go in between. So we just had a whole crate of 24 giant bottles of milk stout, it's called. Literally made with milk as an active ingredient. Delicious, but fucking hell. I don't think it was 8%, but that was an interesting evening. We were both just like... We felt like we'd had a huge roast dinner. You know, that feeling you can get after a wedding feast or a Christmas dinner or something like that, where you just feel a little bit... Not sick, but sort of dazed from all the intake. Yeah. AS Tier Owl. Can't go wrong with a good session beer. Alright, Belord, I gotta take a nap. Last night was really short. See you later. We'll have a lovely snooze. Snooze? There's caught between sleep and snooze. Have a lovely sleep and an excellent snooze. We'll catch you later. Like my colleagues replied to the beer. Okay, sounds nice, but did you fuck up? Those are my colleagues who plays in a pretty famous band. Complete rock star. I feel like you've told us the name of the band, but yeah, feel free not to if that is beans that you don't want to spill. I'm pretty sure Subtle D is mates with the guitarist from Crypta, who are amazing. The all-girl band from, I think they're from Brazil? Ah, yeah, Confess, that's it. Likes to Blickatch. Yeah, take care, Belorda, and enjoy your rest. Hello there, former Danish kid. Hey, Erin. Former Danish kid. Hey, I'm clinging on to that label until I die. But yeah, hey Erin, how's it going? How's the music treating you? Thanks again for the recommendation yesterday. I enjoyed it. Very weird. A little bit, I thought it was a bit self-congratulatory in a couple of places. Like the kind of thing that I would do if I was a really good songwriter and musician. I'd get a little bit overconfident at times, but I kind of wanted to look up who the female vocalist was on there. Every song where she had a prominent part was really enjoyable and really fun, and I don't want to use the word eclectic because people overuse it, but it was very eclectic and interesting. I thought the first 3 tracks were the highlight, though. Moose was saying, what the fuck, is there a cooldown for the gold plunder skulls? When I got Public Dungeon 1, then went to a delve and boss only dropped coins. Logical way would have been to make the cooldowns only for purple skulls. There shouldn't be a cooldown at all. There might be, though. There's a cooldown on, like, regular loot, which I think... I feel like I've heard this complaint before. You won't often run into it because you can't run from one boss type to another. But you know, if you're running around a public dungeon and going from one boss to the next, to the next, to the next, and you kill them all very quickly, a lot of the time you'll get nothing. Like if you're lead farming, and you'll have to learn to slow down a bit. It probably is that. It's not on Plunder Skull specifically, but, you know, like universal. And then, yeah, confesses like Sleaze Metal, but with a newer twist. Kinda like it, even if I enjoy heavier stuff. Or same, like, I think it was Lancelot yesterday was chatting about the Hollywood Undead. And I felt like I recognized the name, but I'd definitely not listened to them before. I put on a little bit of that while I was working last night. And it's not really my typical kind of music, but I fucking enjoyed it. It was great fun. So yeah, keep the music recommendations flowing, guys. And Belorda saying, yep, there is a cooldown on Skulls Overland in general. Now I'm really off. No! Keep asking technical questions, guys, to keep her here. STL, do you think you could cosplay? Crossplay, sorry. A totally different question. Crossplay is a thing that we talk about almost every day. So here's the deal. The devs have not said that they are doing it. They have not even said they are going to try doing it. What they've said is that they've done some investigation and are continuing to do some investigation to see if it's even possible. I'm guessing... Rich Lambert was here, actually, a while ago. He was very keen to pour cold water on the whole idea. So if you've seen any of those clickbait YouTube videos saying, crossplay confirmed, they are literally fucking lying. There's no way they watched that and really believed the crossplay is confirmed. That's not what happened. But what is happening is that the devs understand how popular it would be, and apparently they want to see if they can do it. So I would hope, and I would guess maybe, they will find that it is possible to a degree. I don't know to what degree, but for example, a dungeon instance might be made crossplay. A house. You know, so you might be able to visit a friend who's on Xbox EU, even though you're on PCNA. You might be able to visit their house. Maybe you can't actually do anything with them, because that won't work. That real-time stuff won't work, but I don't know. But the sheer expense, the amount of work required, any additional hosting capacity or database that would be needed, there are a huge number of hurdles. So, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some limited version of crossplay. I would love just a one-off token to transfer my account to the NA server. Not to delete it here on EU, but copy it to PCNA. We know they can do that because they do it on PTS. And if you could pay to have your account included in like a weekly transfer or something like that, I don't know. I would jump at that because I have so much stuff here that I don't have on PCNA. I've earned it, and I feel like I should have to do it again. But maybe they aren't, you know, they don't stay in sync after that. So if I go and get, I don't know, a Planesbreaker on the NA server, I'm not going to have it here on EU. Even something like that I think would be amazing. But it would cause huge database bloat. Because so many people would be like, yep, I'm going to do that. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something. I think I'd be very surprised and delighted if we got true crossplay in the way that you would build it into the game now if you made it today. If you made it from scratch. Well, we've done our 3 golden solstice dailies, so why don't we call it here? Sorry guys, just opening the rubbish. So yeah, I hope S-tier Owl, I think that was a reasonable response. And Kampfwurst, what a great name. Fight sausage or battle sausage. Is that's a decent enough translation, isn't it? Erin, yeah, I really like the 3 songs in there mainly. It gets way too over the top in a lot of places. Yeah, just a bit self-congratulatory and noodly. Normally, I don't mind that. I'm a fan of prog. And they, you know, prog and jazz fusion, that is pretty much the aim of the game. Is to have these over-the-top instrumentals and solos, and you know, our bass player has to have 4 minutes to show off just how amazing he is, his instrument, even though nobody asked. That kind of thing. So yeah, I'm willing to excuse a lot of that, but yeah, it was fun. Just selling up the junk. And then let's hop on over to a different character and do some Halloween dailies, some Witches Festival stuff. And for me, the second, third, and last ones are the best. Yeah. Oh, so we're pretty much in agreement. Who mentioned? Erin, yesterday I was helping someone farm monomyth leads. One of the leads is bugged at the moment due to the Witches event. Yep, the one lead which drops in Reaper's March Delve is not dropping. Yeah, Zos say that it is, but it clearly isn't. I don't know if they spoke out of turn, but... Oh, hey, look where we spawned in. Because of where we left it yesterday. You know what? Let's go back. If there's no one there, I might just roll footage on this. I got myself soloing this guy without major resolve, guys. So I have that footage. As soon as I was going to roll again, when he respawned, someone showed up. To be fair, there was a couple of players, and I actually whispered them and said, hey, is there any way... Yeah, fuck this. Look, there are loads of people here. Never mind. I actually asked, could you let me solo this one? I felt like I was playing Elden Ring. Let me solo him. And when he gets to 20%, obviously join in execute so you can get the lead, get your drops, whatever. And they were prepared to let me do this. Then of course a third player came along and pulled, and then that was it. So I might have to do it on PTS just to get a clean solo. Have I already done event dailies on this character? It's possible that I've already done it. And Moose, they've said they're actively working on it. The Reddit Ask Us Anything. Yeah. Yeah, but again, they just said... I'm pretty sure all they said was, we are looking to see if it's possible. It is actually a thing that is happening. Like, if Microsoft says, we're looking to see if we can acquire Apple, that does not mean YouTube videos start appearing saying, Apple acquisition by Microsoft confirmed. Actually, probably that's exactly what would happen, but that would be bullshit, once again, you know? I think what we don't know is a huge amount, And everything that we do know suggests this is not a thing that is going to happen in the way that people would like to expect. But yeah, it's good that they're even looking into it, honestly. And I hope they do find that a large degree of crossplay is in fact possible, and they can figure out a way to make it economical and give it to us. Give it to me! You know? Crossplay, they are looking into it, yeah. And Veloci, how's it going? Some mobs are replaced with event ones exactly, that disables Delve achievements too. Well, some for me a different take, get rid of consoles and their limitations altogether. Start bringing the game to a modern age. Yeah, but they can't really do that. But I know what you mean. I see no markers in here, so I guess I'm done with this. Rip. So what can we do? We can bring a different character. So what, I'll bring my Mag Blade. He doesn't see a lot of action. Or my Stamsork, actually. I'll bring her. She's cool. Where's my Stamsork? And Veloci, yeah, I think it's the Sturk event, not the Witches one. Yes, yeah, of course. It's the... a lot of the Delve bosses have been replaced. Not all of them. But there are new Worm Cult bosses spawning in. And in some cases, that means they're spawning in instead of the original Delve boss, which is the one that drops the lead. Or can drop the lead. Honestly, people can just wait. It's a few more weeks. I don't think Zos need to get their panties in a bunch about this. And players certainly don't. But yeah, they could have made that clearer. That, by the way, folks, this is a thing that is happening. They don't seem to have thought of it. Phantom, hey, what do you get with the flying non-combat pets? Oh shoot, which pet are we talking about? I'm sorry, I just relogged. Is this the one my Arcanist had? Was it a book? No, he doesn't have a pet. I see it equipped with many endgame players. A flying... Oh, so you're not talking about one of mine. Alright, describe it to me. I'm sure we can figure out what it is. Currently I've got a frog. Follow me around, a Miramore frog. On this character. But yeah, look, like my main... Because she's looking a little bit Halloween-y. She's got a bat. With pollen on its belly. Flapping around after her. My Khajiit doesn't have anything cool. Most of these don't have any pets because my add-ons despawn pets when I go into a trial. So you can tell which characters have been doing trials, like all of them. It's the only thing I do. This guy has a spider, a griffin, a frog. Is it a netch you're talking about, like a jellyfish? Because then it's a warden skill. Man, most of my characters don't even have pets equipped. Too much of a trial tard. That's me. Was it on a warden? Yeah, it could be the netch, exactly. Erin, maybe you could check out PCNA. Not many people there at the moment. That's true. But I don't have the setup. That would require crossplay, you know? So I can just import this character. The way to do it is PTS. I just haven't got it downloaded. I removed it because we had a ton of huge games that needed installing around the same time. And I needed to install a press server for ESO. So I would have had 4 installations of ESO. Each one 109 gig. So I just about have room for that. But fuck off. Hey Eggbirds, how's it going? Moose, yeah, copied straight from the reply in one of the devs. We're actively in development on crossplay on this point, yeah. Eggbirds, give it up for Eggbirds, ladies and gentlemen. Friend of the guild. Friend of the Khan, for that matter. How you doing? Hang on, no, that's the wrong way to do it. This character hasn't even done subclassing yet. What? What? I'm running out of characters to actually do this on now. Because I keep just... Every time I'm grabbing subclassing, I'm in a fucking hurry, right? So go and talk to Batra at Hunting, and I'm just, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Skip, you know? Skip all the dialogue, as I will demonstrate in just a moment.
I have been expecting you.
But actually, I would quite like to listen to what she says at one point. I'm going to run out of opportunities to do that. Am I too late to get enough tickets for the house? No. The event's been on like 2 days.
Noshira, your reputation and your travel. I will show you very well. Like the way.
Blah, 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 blah. Alright, what do we want? We want... Herald of the Tome. Dark Magic, be gone. And we want Storm Calling and Assassination. S'il vous plaît. Done. Thank you for that. Thanks, Guns and Raiders. How is your day going, sir? Awesome, I hope. Let's grab Reaper's Mark. We probably won't use it. That'll do. Meow. That's super cute, that sound. God damn it. But yeah, if you're still here, Phantom, tell us more about this pet. Definitely want to know which one you meant, and we can help you figure out how you can get it. Eggbird's doing pretty good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Maya's not here, which is always sad, but you guys are here, which is excellent. Just enjoying some event nonsense. We're going to do some soloing and talk about horror in this game a little later. Let's grab Rune of Displacement just in case. Wow, I literally have 1 skill point left. Ha. Okay, well there we go. That was easy. Now let's That's the point. Does Batra let you take skill points out of weapons skills and things like that?
Every discipline is.
She does not. Well, screw you, lady. Oh, the event house. Yeah, the wild-grown chapel of Julianos. Is that visitable? Visitable? Is that even a word? On the live server? Yeah, it's somewhere around here, isn't it? Can we preview it? Wild-grown chapel. I don't think it's on the live server yet. I've been there a lot on PTS. It's a gorgeous house. Very weird, very unique. But very cool. Crucially. Watch me remove all non-class abilities. Ha! That's, again, one of the few skill styles I'm using, because it's a Miramore fashion character, I guess. She's using Unstable Wall? Wow. I need about 24 tickets more, I believe. Thanks for the Hydrate, Guns N' Raiders. Don't mind if I do. Or 39 if I need to do the pet again. Oof.
There you are. I have been expecting.
Yeah, it'll be the New Life Festival when we can get the first 2 fragments of it, I think, now. And the other 3 will drop during New Life, so no worries. Worry ye not. Oh, here we go. Hesedai. You can preview it from the housing menu. There we go. Genius. Let's have a look. Thank you for that, Hess. Much appreciated. That probably means I can just walk up to it in-game if you can just find the entrance. But I don't remember exactly where the entrance is. If anyone wants to do that... Oh yeah, it is. It's exactly here. So just due south of Ostermere Way Shrine. Anyway. This is the house we're getting. Not great light, sadly. But yeah, the idea is that the Dawnwood sprouted. And this ancient shrine to Julianos was lifted up by the new growth. So you've got these huge trees and this very convenient walkway, which I guess the Bosma have trained since. But yeah, there's the chapel. Altar of Julianos. And just a quick reminder, I don't think this is a coincidence, but Julian LaFay, the creator, pretty much, the father, he and Ted Peterson created the Elder Scrolls as a campaign setting. Then they worked on Arena and Daggerfall. Ted Peterson, I think they both left after or during Daggerfall's development. But they are very much the founding fathers of the Elder Scrolls. And Julian LaFay, Julianos is named after him, the god of truth and logic and wisdom. He single-handedly coded a huge amount of Daggerfall, the second game, which is insane. And he died early this year. He became very ill. And I do not think it's a coincidence that we had a bunch of Julianos-themed collectibles. I don't know, maybe it is. But coincidence or not, it's very appropriate. He passed away just a couple of months ago. And yeah, on the day that it happened, the day we got the news, a few of us went to the Chapel of Julianos in Skingrad just to pay our respects. There goes a real one. A super nerd, if I may. So yeah, we're getting this one. And it's got these three different elements to it. The chapel area, this cool... It's crazy, right? This is all one house. This cool little manor house inside. And this is coming for free with event tickets during this event and the New Life Festival. You can start collecting at this event and then get the remainder during the New Life Festival. But I think for most housing type people, the main event of this house is all this open area. Sure, there is a dirty great tree growing right through the middle of it, but you can go up pretty high before you hit the boundary. And if I just jump down here, you can see you can also build down pretty far before you die. So you can get quite... Actually, it's not that far. But usually doing that's a pretty good indicator as to how far you can build down and up and out from a house like this. Yeah, Hez, glad to be of help. Well, thank you very much. And Israel, hello! Sorry I missed you coming in. Hello, hello. Anusae Zev. Thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated. So we can leave home two ways. I guess the portal takes you back where you came from. And this one will actually dump us out in Westweald. Let's have a look. No. Alright, it doesn't. I'm kind of curious as to what the entrance looks like. If you guys will just indulge me for a minute. Ah, no, crap. I don't have the Way Shrine. Not going to worry about it. Alright, we want to remorph that to blockade. What else do we want? We won't be needing this. Probably won't need Stampede or Reverse Slice just yet. You can always add them back later, but I definitely won't be needing that. The Swarm of Bees ability. What else have we got? That's about it. This character doesn't have as many skill points as she should, man. What's going on with that? Ah, this is it. Was obviously leveling Mage's Guild stuff. She does not need these. Maybe Rune. Inner Light, hell nah. This is a Stam. Don't need this. I mean, I'll grab the passives. Why the hell not? What the hell she got horned for? Definitely don't need that. Yeah, that'll do. Hey, Clutch Tactics. How's it going? Welcome on in. And Chicken. Bark, bark. I always try to do that in your honor. Sorry, I don't have a better balk chambered for when you arrive. Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome, welcome. This is Khan, just one half of Ninja Balls Gaming at the moment. Maya is still working her little butt off over at the cookery school. I swear, she's working herself into an early grave. She actually got sick this week. She came home a little bit early yesterday, but that was all she would give herself. We had a curry, lots of hot tea. Well, you want cold tea, really, do you, for a cold? So hopefully, she's feeling better. I haven't got a message from her yet, but... And Veloci, it's a nice house, but I'm personally more inclined towards the more compact ones. My favourite being Autumn's Gate for its fall aesthetic, and Coven Cottage for a darker feel. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. But if you're a housing person... Oh, in fact, hang on. I'm being a little bit too hasty here. Does this character even have any gear? Appropriate gear. She doesn't have a set of Unsoul, which is perfect, because I desperately need to print more gear. Look how many transmute geodes I have. I have 33 just sitting around. And rewards for the worthy, I have nearly... I have 80. 81. So that's a lot. I need to burn through that shit. What should we make, guys? Just Unsoul and Tideborn? That's what I've been using so far. I think that'll do, won't it? Let's go make her a set of Unsoul Tideborn. Or maybe Unsoul Nolarka. To be fair, there are enough ads dying, aren't there, that Sulzan might actually be good, but I can't be bothered messing around with that. Let's go and make some gear. I'll be quick. And once again, we are doing damage Q&A. I mean, any ESO Q&A, really. Anytime. If anyone's new, or if anyone's trying a new thing, like you've not done tanking before, you name it, I've done it. Not literally everything, but I've done most things in PvE and PvP in a fairly sweaty setting. I've tanked and DPS'd most of the hard modes in the game. There are a couple I haven't done on all roles, and I've healed most things as well, so I'm not saying I know everything, no fucking way, absolutely not, but I'm happy to help, I guess, is my point. Do not be shy if there's any queries. Dark Fiber, thank you very much for the follow. That puts us well over 7.2k, that's crazy. Love it. Hope you guys are having a lovely Saturday. We're going to be here for a few hours, chatting nerdy shit about the Elder Scrolls. Where is my house? Here. No, I don't want that house. This house. STL never touched Trials on PC till yesterday. I've done about 8 of them back to back. That's quite a baptism of fire. I guess if you've never touched them, I'm guessing you went in on normal? So that must have gone by like a flash. Like, what the hell just happened? It's an awkward thing with this game, again, which we talked about many times. I'm all in favor of accessibility. I love the fact that the overworld is so approachable. I love the fact that there's a normal version for Trials where people can step in and it's really forgiving. But then when they come to learn Vet, they really need another player to walk them through it half the time. Or it's just a wipe fest, because normal doesn't really teach you anything. It's kind of an issue, isn't it? Every single one on Vet. Okay, VOC was the worst. Worst how? You've never done... Oh, hang on. So you said never touch Trials on PC. So I'm guessing you know very, very well what you're doing. That's the key part of that sentence, isn't it? Yeah, Veloci Pedogrod, I was thinking more of the, the housing people who like to build crazy things. I think a lot of them are intrigued by this house. We're going to see... Probably a lot of them have already been on PTS, because on PTS, you've got no budget. You can just do whatever the hell you like. You've got infinite crowns, infinite gold. Oh, I do have Ansul in this character. Oh no, that... Different character. Oh my god, my brain. Jack braces belt. Yeah, STL used to play on console, but I've only done VHRC. Oh man, I love Hellra. And VCR, so VOC was very long and insane. It is a bit too long. I think the actual boss fights are fine. They're not the greatest. I think the last one is really cool, in particular. Second one is a little bit... like visually very interesting, but mechanically, especially on Veteran, it's a bit underwhelming. A little bit like Zalvaka in Rockgrove. Like it looks really cool, the way the rising lava, and she like crawls up that tower to get away from you. But actually, who does any of the mechanics on Veteran? No one. You just skip everything, and then only when it comes time to do hard mode, you're like, oh, this trial actually has mechanics. Who knew? And then no one knows what the mechanics are, because they never had to observe them before. I think that is... It's not a huge problem. It's not a big deal, we can get over it, but it is a thing that the devs run into repeatedly with their group content in this game. Eggbirds, can I still be jabbing on my Templar card? I really should prep a DD for Trials again. Oh, is it a Stam or a Mag? But yeah, the answer is yes, either way. Jabbity jab jab jab, go for it. Very hesitant to fill in for Trials because all my characters are out of date. Don't worry about it, man. Like, maybe don't go to Otto's, I don't know, his Rockgrove hard mode run or something like that. I mean, he hasn't got any of those arranged, but if he or I arrange something like this, sure. Maybe prep a character, make sure it's up to date. But nah, for just Veteran stuff, are you crazy? Go for it, go for it. What should we do, guys? Precise? Let's go precise. Actually, fuck it, no. Charged. Charged! Magpla. Definitely stick with it. Follow... See if you can grab one of my Templar setups from YouTube. There's one which just uses Assassination, I think. And after that, it's Adric Spear and Dawn's Wrath. It's very, very... like pure Templar. 2 out of 3 skill lines are standard issue, you know. Oh, that's a delight. Look how much space I now have. I can open up 250 transmute things. Ugh. I don't know, that's only 10, isn't it? This is not that exciting, but still. STL, I was just very grateful that we had bomb healers and good DPS. Like when I used to play back then, we'd always be under DPS. I mean, DPS is so free in this game right now. They're in an awkward situation where they've kind of made the game less interesting in some places by giving us such a huge amount of damage. But then when they start to peel it back, if they try and take it away, players get mad. This has been happening just recently. Update 46 came out with the subclassing, and everyone was laughing about, oh, this is too much damage, the game is too easy. Not everything. Some stuff is actually more fun the more damage you have, I think. So it's just not like it breaks everything. It's more subtle than that. But yeah, then the devs try to take some of that damage away, and people just freak the fuck out. How dare you! So, and we'll forbid, just level arc subclass and all characters are up to date again. Yeah, fair enough. Erin, stam jabs are the hot stuff these days with all the sundering. Not used mag jabs in a long time. Yeah, I mean, they're both pretty nice. Right, let's grab all the gear I just made. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feels good to kit out a new character. Well, not a new character, but you know what I mean. To give one of my my classic characters a long overdue bit of love. Does she even have a Maelstrom Inferno? She really doesn't. Fuck's sake. Is there one in the bank? There really should be. Yeah, boy. I have so many of the damn things. I think I have more Maelstrom Infernos than I have characters. Like, some of my characters have 2. Which makes no fucking sense. I certainly have more Maelstrom Infernos than I have DD characters. Eggbirds, yeah, I did level Arcanist, but not really an archetype that fits me. Nice. I like not having to press heal. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's a death many of us have died. Yeah, I know. SC Owl, I love the multi-classing system. I'm not a meta player, so I'm constantly messing around with different builds. Same here. I mean, I am what most people would regard as a meta player, but what does that actually mean? If you look at what I'm actually running, the only times that I'm really running anything that is quote-unquote meta is when my raid lead has something that they want me to run, or if I'm the raid lead and I'm making the group comp, and then we bring what we are asked to bring. Hey, Dark Fiber AK with a tier 1 sub! Thank you so much. Hype, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there we go. We're off. That's 1 out of 10 for the day. Let's see how many we can get. Thank you so much. That is the lifeblood of channels like this one. And, yeah, Maya and I super appreciate you opting to spend that here with us. Never will we take that for granted. Love it. Thank you. And if there's I'll tell you what, Darkfire, if there's a world boss or something horrible that you want to see me try to solo, even if it's literally impossible, with this setup, feel free to chime in and let me know, and I'll gladly go and do it. If that's an incentive for anyone else to throw us a sub today, I will gladly extend that to everyone here. We did a bunch of random world bosses. People were just shouting, hey, go and solo this, go and solo that. I think we didn't find anything that I wasn't able to solo. So the challenge is on. Be realistic. Don't ask me to solo Balsanar hard mode with this build. It's literally not possible. I mean, I'll gladly try, but we all know that it's not going to work. Alright, so what am I making? Making a couple of physical harm glyphs. Have you soloed the Voxrona bosses on Solstice? I have on PTS. But it was not easy, and I don't know if I'll be able to do it on live. Because it's quite busy around there. But yeah, I'll happily try that. And I think then it's just the weapons I need to enchant. And then we're good to go. Sorry, watching people craft gear isn't the most exciting, but at least it gets it straight in everyone's head what I'm running. By the way, I'm just running whatever. You do not need to use Unsul or Null Arcade. In fact, Tideborn is probably better. I just really wanted to use up some of my goddamn transmutes. Hey, Ginge Dread, I love it. Welcome on in. Do you actually have ginger dreadlocks? That's cool as hell. I had a dream last night about a girl I went to school with who always had the greatest hair. She was like, it was one of those relationships where we were mates for years and years and years, and we had weird, never quite overlapping periods of when I was interested in being more than friends, but then she was interested in being more than friends, and nothing ever really happened. But yeah, that was a fun thing to think back on. She had ginger dreads at one point. That's why that made me think of it. Eggbird's awesome. Yeah. You do have a Stamplar, which became your PvP character. I remember that, yeah. But I need a lot more skill points to actually properly subclass on a lot of characters. No ginger dreadlocks. Alright, fair enough. Still a cool name. And Lucky Hands on YouTube. Question. Does the bonuses like Slayer and Aegis work for overland content in public dungeons and delves? Ooh, that is a good question. I think it doesn't. I mean, in public dungeons and delves, it doesn't really matter anyway. Does it? That's a very good question. Yeah, you'd have to check. You'd have to actually test that. And the bosses are so squishy. It could go either way on that one. If anyone knows, let us know. So this is Lucky Hands on YouTube asking, minor Slayer, minor Aegis. I mean, it doesn't matter, I guess. Lucky Hands would be my cop-out answer, because delves and public dungeons are so easy. But I always used to assume that they did, but I think I was told, or I've since learned, that they do not. Yeah, it says increasing your damage done to dungeon, trial, and arena monsters. So I'm fairly sure delves and public dungeons are out. But yeah, public dungeons, technically a dungeon. And hey, Rather Dashing, how's it going? Good morning! Just got to catch up with everyone here. And Veloci Pedogrod saying, oh yeah, the Maelstroms. I kept switching between Inferno and GS on many characters and lost track, so I have like 5 in the back. Don't even know how many on the characters. Yeah, they smack hard, Miyun, they absolutely do. We'll try that later. But yeah, if Dark Fiber, if you have any suggestions of like a world boss that has kicked your ass in the past and you want to see it brought down to size, or you just want to see me fail, like one of the ones that I immediately went to solo after subclassing was this one. It's not that difficult now. It's an old base game boss, but it used to be such a bitch, such a pain. This is the green, Bitter Green the Wild, you know, the Gua boss. He's a real pain in the butt. And Veloci, I find that people are obsessed with about having to be meta with multi-classing. So many builds are more than viable, even in hard modes. You don't really need to stick to the build. Yeah, it's not necessary for most people to meta chase. Also, I gotta say it, the vast majority of people who quote-unquote chase the meta, they're not even playing the meta. Not the real meta. They're chasing something which is the popular meta, the popular perception, but in truth, if you actually want to use the most efficient tactic available, and that's not necessarily what meta stands for, but META, most efficient tactic available, that's like generally accepted as what it means, even if that's not where the word came from, you want to change it for every boss, for every group, for every encounter. So it's impossible, unless you are in an organized, optimized, properly led group. The meta is just an illusion. You're always going to be chasing that dragon, never getting anywhere. So just give it up and use something that works well. And don't be too prescriptive about, no, don't use Ardent Flame, use Assassination. It's just chill. If players are getting the job done, and if they're not making their lives unnecessarily difficult, then it's fine. I've got a YouTube video coming out this weekend, hopefully, all about this. I'm hoping to get it finished tomorrow. And it is all about survivability and how people tend to do it wrong, either by building for survivability. You know, that the classic one is putting points into health, wearing heavy armor because they think they need to. That's a definite no-no. Unless you absolutely need to, don't even go there. But a lot of people go too far in the opposite direction, and I've seen this during this event, the Writhing Wall event, and the Witches Festival. The people are dying to stuff they have absolutely no business dying to. They're not bad players. They're not standing in stupid. The boss is just turning around, light attacking them, and they're almost dead immediately. They've got no major resolve. They've got no survivability, and I think a lot of players could use just a quick heads up on how easy it is to give yourself massive amounts of survivability without sacrificing any damage at all. You don't need Pale Order, you don't need heavy armor, you don't need an active heal that you need to cast. And that is, all of that is there in this build. We've talked about it a lot. And yeah, so hopefully that's going to be a thing we will cover a little bit more, and hopefully that'll help some people. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Veloci Pedograda. I completely agree with that. Name comes from my work and my ginger hair. Alright, fair enough. Like Judge Dredd, Ginge Dredd. Yeah. And Rather Dashing, let's get back to that, folks. Let's give him a second shout out here. If you guys do not know Rather Dashing yet, there we go. This is a friend of the guild. A lovely, lovely guy. American streamer, so he's obviously not necessarily compatible with your hours, but his streaming times might be in your evening time, if you're like me over here in Europe. So definitely check him out. Super chill vibes. Often it's very philosophical regarding nerdery and gaming and so on, which is something I definitely approve of. And yeah, just a lovely dude, and you should be aware of streamers like this in this category. We've got a lovely bunch of creators and audiences and communities within the ESO community in general. And I think it is underappreciated, frankly. I think the devs are starting to realize this more, that they really do have an excellent community here on Twitch. One of the best. And that they should perhaps point other players in this direction. That's what's happening with the drops that are on at the moment, as I understand it. So let's grab these Lord of Fear ones and catch up with chat. Likes to play catch. Hey, Rather Dashing, how are we today? Moose, I would guess no for Overland, but I haven't seen anyone actually test and confirm. Yeah. This is the Minor Slayer thing in Delves. Doing well, thank you. How are you doing today? From Rather Dashing. Xenia, man, trying to finish up all Dark Anchors, etc. in Cyrodiil. Feels like I've been waiting forever for it to start. Very annoying. Yeah, well, because it's one at a time, isn't it? Isn't it like the rest of the world? So only one of them can be open? So you really got to ride around. Maybe it's more than one. I'm not sure. Good one. Ride straight into the tree. The Hunger in Vardenfell, go do that one. I would need to slot a specific scribed ability for that. There's tech involved that you need to slot an interrupt on Ulfsild's contingency. I know this because I think it's Hyperioxys. It might have been looked, but one of those guys told me that. It is actually possible. Or I think you might be able to out-heal it if you have active heals on yourself. And Book Magic on YouTube saying, well, I must say, it would help all players immensely if any sets tooltips were altered with a little word like broken when it says the set isn't working as tooltip says. Generally they do, but I know what you mean. There is definitely a lack of clarity now and again. I love these little vignettes you get of fear of different types. Like the Bosma lady is terrified of this. You know, the trees burning from the outside in.
You're close to the
that would be fucking terrifying.
I can feel it. Don't stop now.
But again, it's a slightly childish or soft version of horror compared to the type we get elsewhere in the game. We'll come back to that a little bit later. Let me just slot the right potions. Not that I need them here. And Rather Dashing, doing well here, Khan. Hope all is well with you and Maya. Maya's a little bit ill. Working her butt off. Using a companion counts as soloing? Nah, it doesn't. I mean, they're useless. So I guess maybe. But I'm not using a companion, if that's what you're asking. But I guess technically... But don't worry about those definitions. If you want to use a companion, do it. And it's close enough to soloing. The companions don't do very much. They can just get the aggro off you for a little while, but if there's any danger, they're going to die to it. So I kind of stand by it. They don't really do a lot. So if you can solo it with if you can quote-unquote solo it with a companion, that almost certainly means you can do it without. Unless you're right on the borderline where... you can't quite outvalue the boss on your own, so that little bit of extra DPS or healing, or the little bit of damage that gets taken by the companion instead of on you, that will take you over the line. But unless you're in that sweet spot, I don't think the companions will really tip the scales. You know what I mean?
But there are others.
Feel bad for that boss. Squaz is so cute. Yeah, but that one isn't. He's a pain in the butt. Likes a bit of catch. Awesome. Thank you. Just chilling with the kids today. I love it. Sounds like a great day. Enjoy. How are the kids? Or how old are the kids? So, it took me a long time to ditch the meta and play something that is fun instead. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, I will play the meta when it is actually required of me. So I'm not anti-meta, but I'll also play whatever the hell I want, so long as it gets the job done. Like, if in my dungeon group, in several of our trial groups, we do not require people to play... Generally with supports, it's you know, run this, run that. But with DDs, it's just like, bring whatever you want. And as long as it works, no one is going to say boo. But if it ain't working, yeah, we will have to talk about it. The two can coexist very, very easily. I think it's a false distinction a lot of the time. Because people run into this whole thing about being... We've got an obsession with builds, which is unhealthy, I think. And it leads you into a position where, well, I'm using a Xynode build, well, I'm using a Skinny Cheeks or a Ninja Paws build, 8 Puppies or Hyperiox or whatever. It's like, that's not the point. The point is, does it work? You know, is what you are doing working for you? Are you clearing it as fast as you want? Is it easy enough? Is the rotation, does it suit you? Like, if you're a bit of a sweaty player, if you like a bit of a challenge, maybe go for something a bit more squishy, a bit more fun, a bit more engaging, but with higher damage. If you're not that type of person, and you like to be able to chat and not have to super focus on what you're doing, maybe a one-bar build or a heavy attack build. Doesn't mean you have to use Oaken Soul or whatever. I think we get too blinkered by this or that build, when in fact... There are oceans of variety in between. Why the fuck would we limit ourselves artificially like that? So, yeah. And then I do think when you join a group, you and your group have to be happy with the setup you're using. It's no longer just your decision.
Hello there.
But that kind of goes without saying. Hello there. But I think probably everyone already knows what I just said. The Bonafide B. Hey Ninja, hey chat. Hello there. The meta is an illusion. Blasphemy. I mean, I do remember Xynode getting a lot of hot water for what he said. Oh, the meta doesn't exist in this game. It's just a thing that people made up to be relevant in a game they don't understand. I remember Xynode saying this on stream. You know, he was just talking to his community, but of course, it got clipped and shared in every fucking Discord in this game. In a way, if he'd worded it differently, I would agree with him. But because I would just tweak his wording slightly. You know what I mean? I don't think the meta doesn't exist or is made up by people to be relevant in a game they don't understand. But I do think he has a point that we don't need to worry about it. Or that most of the time, we just don't need to worry about it. How many of us are playing solely in Scorpish groups or in Trifecta groups? And even to get trifectas, you don't have to follow the meta. In fact, a lot of groups wrongly focus on the sweatiest comp they can find from a group that has just broken a world record in their trial. They'll find it in logs, and the raid lead will try to copy what they've done. That's often the worst thing you can do. You'd be better off, your particular group, which isn't performing at that level, they might still be excellent, but they're not like world record amazing. They'd be better off just taking out a couple of complications, easing it back a little bit, simplifying things so that uptimes will be more consistent, just a little bit easier for everyone. And that is a thing. Locht and I had a big conversation about this on stream a while ago. That it's a mistake a lot of players and groups make. That they will try to follow the meta, and it's actually not even the right thing to do. So often the people who shrug when it comes to talk of meta, they're kind of on the right track. And I say that as I'm a person that many people would call a meta slave. So anyway, but again, falling behind with chat again. So let's sort this out. It ranged from 1 to 18. Likes to play catch as a real Steve Martin type with the kids. Anything from 1-year-old to 18 years old. Amune, are you planning to add subclassing meals to the website? Yes, I absolutely am. Working on those at the moment. And rather dashing, also mine are in their 20s, so enjoy the time. Yeah, exactly. Mike, ahoy there, listening to Sleep Token for some hours straight. Good work. I'm still not convinced by the latest one. It's good, but I think album 1 and 3 are still the best. But I won't dispute if anyone feels different. Thank you for the kind words, rather dashing. Appreciate it so much. Anytime, man. And like some like action, that's great. And yet, soon it flies by. We have 6 out of 10 and under. That's so crazy, man. I would love to visit sometime, just to see the operation. I'm sure it's a privilege and a wonder to behold. Like visiting like a military site or something. Anyway, Mike EVG, a friend of Khan, and Maya is a friend. Followed. Boom. Thank you. Welcome to the Ratherhood. Exactly. Time does fly. Don't know where it went. Yeesh. Do you know if pet damage is direct or dot? Depends which pets. Which pet are you talking about? The Sork pets are direct. And you can check this. You can check it any time. In here. You can either use logs, or you can bring up anything. And you can check the tooltips. Actually, maybe the quickest way to do it is just to say, alright, Fate Carver. Is that direct or is it a dot? We know the answer. We know it's direct. But if I were to deslot Master at Arms, press confirm, that tooltip has gone down. I'm not even kidding. Every now and again... Oh, thank you for the music sting. Every now and again, I will literally take a minute to double check something just in case. Because even though I'm 99% sure it is direct or it's a dot or whatever, I might just want to confirm. You know? So what have we got? We got Biting Aura, Master at Arms, Fighting Finesse, and Reaving Blows. Over here, we've got Vitality, Celerity. Yeah, this is about right. And here, well, this tree doesn't matter, but what the hell? Let's fill them up. Don't need the sneak one. What the hell else am I going to run here? Steed's Blessing, I guess. Done. Oh, there's another one down here I missed. Zutala, I have missed one. Man, it goes to show how often I play my Stamsork. She's got this many CPs unutilized. That's sad, man. Dark Metal, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Zuck loves meta. Yeah, he really does. Cyborg, unrelated, an attempt at music recommendation. Mats Gustafsson and his projects, The Thing, Fire Orchestra, and yes, it's jazz. Noted. Do you want to DM me on Discord with that? Definitely want to take it out. Check it out, not take it out. Sorry, everyone. Best companion helps you see heavy sat. Yeah. Mike EVG, builds are bad because they're basically like thinking like another person does, which is not intuitive. I'll make my own builds, even if they're not OP or super strong. I've said this 100 times, more times than I can count, when I do this in a video. I say this is not a build, this is a starting point. You know, use this as a starting point. And this is, especially if it's for the dummy. I might often say, in content, maybe change this, and da-da-da-da-da. But even then, don't just use one build everywhere. That's a one-way ticket just being a bad player. Or a less good player, for sure. Yeah, like make my own builds, even if they're not OP or super strong. Absolutely the way to do it. Erin, speaking of that, Carl, have you heard the song made by Mark Zuckerberg and T-Pain? No, I have not. That's a real thing? That's crazy. Sadiablo, thank you for the follow. I used to twerk to it in my club when I was bar manager. Given I was drunk, but yeah. Wait, Zuck and T-Pain? Yeah, the real Mark Zuckerberg. Would the real Mark Zuckerberg please stand up? Dark Metal, how's it going, man? Hope you're well. Speaking of trifecta, I finished Godslayer last Thursday. Hey, yeah. Nice. Nobody asked, but I'm interested. So thank you for sharing. That's cool. Keep emergency services number of speed dial when you listen to it. Your heart might give up. My soul gave up. Why have you done this to me, Erin? Yeah, and the Shnacks with words of wisdom. The meta is not one specific setup, but pretty much all optimal setups use gear and skills from a relatively small subset. Yeah, there's like a pool of things which are... That's another way of looking at the meta. What's in the meta and what isn't. There's not one setup, but that's usually what people ask me. Hey, what's the meta DPS at the moment? And what they mean is, this class with these sets and these skills. And that is not an answer I can give. Or should give. Because it's misleading, you know? But yeah, that's true. Thinking of it as a pool of things that are all like a top shelf.
Cleanse the haunted's axe, but beware.
I was a somewhat happy person 3 minutes ago, Erin. Oh no. And hey, Subtlety, how's it going? Erin, I wish Zuck used AI to make that song, but maybe it's AI made song because Zuck is a robot. Maybe. A robot lizard? Alright, you guys are slandering Mark Zuckerberg here, not me. Wait, he doesn't own Twitch. I'm fine. Veloci Pedogrol. We do a music Rex. My contribution shall be Iana Alveola, Romanian folk metal. Wow. Okay. We're doing anti-recommendations at the moment, yeah. Cursed stuff. Dark metal. Oh, I know one. It's well known, but Oingo Boingo, Little Girls. Fuck's sake, guys. No. No. That's enough. That's enough of this. Like some Blake Hatch. Tell you what, Khan. You and Mike can come babysit, yeah? I'm there. I'm there, man. Hey, Ginge Dread, another sub. Thank you. Thank you for the prime sub. That is 2 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. Are there any more for any more throughout the stream? We're here for a little while longer. Really appreciate it, Ginge Dread. That is very kind. And like I said earlier, thanks for choosing to spend that here. There are some really great streamers out there, so I will... Maya and I will do our best to earn that shit. Erin, another anti-recommendation. There was a song made by R. Kelly and P. Diddy. Don't care to see what the name of the song is. Right. Right. Mike, I saw an AI video of Epstein cheating on Trump with Diddy. So my mental health is a shambles. Oh, man. Oh, no. I almost don't want to see them. I just want to... Just the mental image is enough. Always love that bit. I know it's coming, but that freaky little guy running across your path. Why am I pre-buffing? There's no combat. I'm just always pre-buffing for something. Muggy VG, welcome to the family, Ginge Dread. Dark Metal Khan, how much for you to sing Oingo Boingo? I would have to, like, prep it. I mean, for you, Dark Metal, it wouldn't take much. You've supported us a lot through September and Games Fest. We really appreciate it, man.
The blood.
Gatsug.
The blood.
Let's talk to him.
It's gone.
Yeah, stop.
I saw the
S-T-O-P.
and Lord Hollowjack. And you.
Oh, you already do?
cleansed my
Ah, thank you very
hands,
much.
and with it,
Veloci Pedogron. Well, with Anti-Rex, you gotta check Gutalax. I love Gutalax. What are you talking about? They're Czech. We are Gutalax from Czech Republic. I actually love them, as in I think their music is genius and clever, or beautiful to listen to, but my mates and I laugh at their stuff all the time. And they are taking the piss. For those who don't know, there's a huge... It's not that huge, but there's a fairly sizable subculture of, like, grindcore. And they have these, like, super grindcore festivals. So in case you're not that deep into heavy metal subgenres, this is just utter sludgy noise, basically. With, like, pigs getting murdered are what the vocals sound like. And you can barely distinguish the riffs. And the drum beats are just incredibly fast and unrelenting. Not music for everyone. It is a deep, deep subgenre of heavy metal. And my mates and I, who have been metalheads since we were kids, we really enjoy finding stuff like this and making each other laugh with it. Gutalax is definitely one of those. So thank you for bringing that up, Veloci. That's fun. Clowncore. I don't know that one, I don't think. But yeah, one of my there's a festival in, I think it's in the Czech Republic. I can't remember what it's called. It's not. It should just be called Grindfest, which should also be the name of like most MMOs that have released in the last 10 years, but well, 15, 20 years maybe. I mean, yeah, no, I got it. Thank you. Ginge Dread and Dark Metal. Let's go. Need to know when it'll happen. Don't want to miss it. Oh shit. What are you prepared to offer in order for me to do that?
Travel to detritus.
Crit did, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. Mike EVG, confession. Metal genres with core into them gets an automatic no for me. Yeah, I know what you mean. But come on, metalcore sounds dumb, but it's actually good. Happy hardcore can be a lot of fun. That's more of a punk thing.
The very air is filled with fear. Keep going.
I tell you what, an unexpected treat this summer for me was oh fuck, what are they called? I'm gonna have to look it up. I've already forgotten the name of the band. New album that came out this year by Turnstile. Their album which came out this summer, Never Enough. Not my type of music normally, but man, that was a lot of fun. And going back to YouTube comments, we all had Book Magic saying, I nearly quit the game years ago when I found out my power was so low because I was wearing 2 sets that were not working in the game for months until a patch informed it had to be fixed. Yeah, I mean, that is rare. That sounds very unlucky. I was using Yandir's Might for a long time. Is that one of the ones you're thinking of? But it wasn't working. The numbers were there, but the actual weapon damage wasn't there. And it was a set all of my friends were using in Maelstrom and Vadashran. And then we found out via patch notes. They must have known about it. I'm with you. It really pissed me off. Because it was like, they've clearly known that it was broken for a while. They could have at least told us, hey guys, we're trying to figure out how to fix it. And then we would have known to stop using it. But rather than that, they just said, having failed to fix this issue, we are changing the way this set now works. It's like, what? We've all been using it for like a year. God damn it. So yeah. When the sets don't give the stats or even the big last bonus, can completely ruin builds. I mean, people should frankly test before they use anything or before they recommend anything. And this is part of the problem. Yeah, the devs should make sure that things do what they say they're going to do. But I'd say, if I had to guess, the amount of builds which are recommended with absolutely no or very minimal testing before the recommendation is made vastly outnumbers the amount of sets in the game which are simply broken. and don't work. But yeah, I think you're right with the policy of when the devs learn something is busted, notifying the players would be cool, and they don't always do that. They tell us when they've fixed it, or they tell us when they've failed to fix it and they're changing it instead. And I think you're on the money with that. Dark Metal, no clue to VH. You'd have to look at the lyrics first. I have the feeling with Clown Cores, then you're absolutely awesome.
Delightful.
Oh no. Death Metal, 6 Feet Under. Yeah, that'll work. Not my favourite. That's good stuff though, isn't it? Favorite death metal bands, probably Bloodbath. I like Hypocrisy as well.
Delightful.
Oh, there's a lot, man. Deicide could be really good. Entombed.
Delightful.
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 But yeah, that's fair enough, Mike EVG. It's not a bad confession or anything, saying that anything with a core in it is automatically goes down your list of priorities. That's fair.
Delightful.
Just sounds corny. Pun intended. Yeah, Dark Metal, yeah, the pig squeals.
Delightful.
And what's up for me? Everything needs a name these days. I listen to music I like.
Delightful.
I love the old manness of that comment, but I completely agree, man. Yeah.
Delightful.
But it is useful. If enough people understand what the label means, it is useful to have these
Delightful.
genres and stuff like that. Like math metal and gent and all these absurd... They are actually useful, I feel like, if people are aware of what the hell we're talking about. That particular
Delightful.
song of Clowncore was filmed in a porta potty. Bellocino. Oh my god. I imagine, yeah. Dark Metal, I need to look at the lyrics first. It's bad. Metalcore is good for metal initiates like Metal Light. Well, that's what I used to think. I used to be a little bit down on it, like this is not true metal. We touched on this yesterday. I used to be more of a snob when it came to like quote-unquote true metal.
You're alive.
Nothing cool is allowed, you know? But I'm not really like that anymore. Some metalcore is really fucking solid. Soviet Wave is so damn good. Like synthwave but with an older Russian space race spin to it. Soviet Wave, I'm not gonna lie, has anyone ever heard of Soviet Wave before?
This doesn't make
It's a
sense.
special kind of
You
retro.
radiate the primal fear of detritus.
I love Soviet metal.
It hasn't driven you
Erin,
mad.
2 of my friends shared their medical playlist with me. Can't wait to hear them. Yeah, man. EDM. Check out Import. Yeah, so weird, so good. My thoughts exactly. All right. Likes to play catch. Thank you for the Prime sub.
Thank you.
Massively appreciated. And for modding here, by the way. For those who didn't know, Likes to Play Catch recently stepped up and said, hey, you guys need mods? We have some, but they're not always available. And Likes to Play Catch has been here a lot, helping to make the channel better for you guys, and for me and Maya as well. So yeah, massive love to you on that score. Thanks,
You'll
man.
gather enough strength to come for us.
Dread, you sometimes wonder what you're listening to. Exactly. What the fuck are you saying? I remember reading an interview with, do you guys know Malevolent Creation? So this is very much on like the A- or B tier of American death metal, but they're perfectly fine. They've done some good stuff. They've done some unremarkable stuff. But yeah, they had a singer years ago he just drank way too much. He would get absolutely fucked up beyond all recognition. So he'd go out on the stage like completely faded, and it's death metal, like very heavy death metal. So it's like, how much does that even matter? But they would listen to, whenever they recorded a live show, they would listen back to it and they said to him, what the fuck are you even saying? So eventually they fired him because he couldn't stay sober enough to actually sing the lyrics. He was just making noise, literally. And the fact that he made it several months or years or most of the way through a tour before anyone really picked up on it, I always thought that anecdote was fucking hilarious. Because it's like what your granddad says about metal. What's he saying? You know? Those aren't lyrics. And Mike EVG, metalcore is basically hardcore emo rock. I can see the connection there. Growls with pop elements, but also heavy gent, somewhat similar to metal wave. Watch out. Spam incoming. Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you so much, Dark Metal. That's a lot of bits. A lot of little cheers there. Dig it. Mikey, would you like some parts of black metal bands? Partly because I don't want to have to explain the lore behind Varg and Euronymous. Yeah, that's awkward. I remember the first, like, Maya really likes black metal. More than I would have expected. Like, she was into power and thrash when we met. And I introduced her to good black metal, cheesy black metal, insane black metal, all the stuff that I couldn't. She was really into it. Like, she heard Whore by Mayhem and was like, oh, this is great. I love this shit. I was very surprised. But then when it got time for me to explain the story behind Burzum and
Don't be shaken by them.
Mayhem, and the fact that the guys in Enslaved and Emperor weren't part of that, but they were very much connected with it all. Yeah, she was pretty uncomfortable about the whole thing. That's pretty messed up. Entombed. Freaking awesome, yeah, man. Delightful. More like decanful. Hey, Lancelot. How's it going? I enjoyed Hollywood Undead last night. I listened to the first album. Is that Swan Songs? Listened to the first one start to finish while I was working. Not normally my type of music. It's very kind of cheesy and arrogant and swaggery. Very American. But I really dug it. It reminded me of like listening to Ludacris or something. He's taken the piss. If you take it seriously, it becomes harder to enjoy. But yeah, I really enjoyed listening to that. It was pretty chill, actually. Later albums. Oh, right, so that wasn't even what I was supposed to. I couldn't remember which album you said. I was looking at the list. Again, none of these are jumping out at me. So I just look at like most listened tracks on Tidal, and they were all from album 1. So I went with that. Yeah, Entombed. Lots of love for Entombed. Paradise Lost made an amazing comeback. That's also true. Imposter Syndrome. Zos is like my mum. They never admit they failed. Alright, that is a quote of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Imposter Syndrome saying Zos is like my mum. They never admit they failed. How about Come Metal by Health? Alright, you need to... I even hesitate to say this name on stream. There is an incredibly stupid band. They're just in it for the lols, called Come Christ. I don't want to upset or offend anyone, so we're not going to go any further than that, but their track list is just so silly. Not even silly, it's just stupid. Like, God owes me money, and Jesus sold me a bunk 8th, and one of my mate's favourites, in the sea of heavy metal, you are plankton. These are all like song titles. And of course, the songs are shit. They're like bad versions of Napalm Death mini songs. They like last 8 seconds or whatever. Anyway, we've dived deep enough down that rabbit hole now. How about we come up for air and do some actual gameplay? And in the meantime, thank you so much, Lady Kumiko, Liana the Strange, and Locke for the follows. Sorry for the random conversation today. I hope people are into metal, or don't mind talking about weird and wonderful subgenres of metal today. From black metal to synth pop to black metal purity, yeah. Perfection, good afternoon! And you're welcome, Khan. It's always a pleasure to be here. Likes to play catch. Glad I can help you guys. Well, we're very glad as well. We really appreciate it. Genuinely. And Veloci Pedagogue, talking about black metal, have you heard the banjo solo in Talker Mure? No. I don't think I've heard that, or if I have, I didn't notice it was a banjo. Alright, that's another one on the list. Just look at all of them, listen to them. Take your time. Alright. Dark metal. Damn, used to listen to that album from Hollywood Undead when I was a small lad. Yeah, exactly. It's old, man. Because of them I got into metal. That's what it sounded like to me, yeah. Unless you missed my other message. Yeah, the more experience they got, the better the albums got. That's not uncommon. Arnocore. Metal based on films by Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's not a thing. Is it just song titles like, if it bleeds, we can kill it. I'll be back. Learning computer. I'm more of a wood guy than a metal guy lately. What, you mean you've always got it up? Or what's that, Eggbirds? Eggbirds is horny as hell. Just constantly... It's a thing. Oh, crikey. Alright, Lancelot, go ahead. Sorry, I missed it. And let's go back to YouTube very quick. Lucky Hands, Broken Path Cave, and Centurion's Rise. Give people some trouble. Alright, we're going to go with those. Book Magic, 5 years with the craft bag. Now I can try out many sets anytime I wish. Easy to try things till I find what I like for a build. But free players, new players, casual... Yeah, the materials, Paul, that's true. So I usually just assume those geared up poorly are probably either free players, haven't gotten a good build yet. I think it's often this. It's Major Resolve. It doesn't have to be Hurricane, that's just the one I'm using, but people don't have Major Resolve. And gear doesn't affect your damage that much. Like, it's a big boost, don't get me wrong, but it's not like... It does a lot less than people think it does. Gingerbread, get your ass to Mars. Where's Maya, by the way? She's working, man. Especially mornings. Morning Wood guy as well. Oh my god. Total Recall was hilarious. I love that movie. I really like that movie. Like, unironically. She doesn't love us anymore. No, she's working like 17-hour days so that we can keep doing this. Because, bluntly, sorry to bring this into it every freaking day, but bluntly, the YouTube and the Twitch, well, there are no ads on the website currently. We'll think about putting some ads on there through Google Ads. But it doesn't make enough to support one of us, let alone both of us. So we just need to scale things up. We'll get there, And thank you for your patience and support in the meantime. But yeah, that's what's happening. And Lancelot finished up my Knight of the Circle style pages. Nice. Someone I've been playing with since March this year helped me and gave me the last 2. She helped me so much. That's awesome. Yeah, that was one that I bought right away. Hello, nice people. Hey, Ahelt. How's it going? And the question, is it worth at all having a tank in IA? Yeah, sure. Is it worth taking focused efforts for it? Yeah. Because eventually, both players in IA will basically be tanks. Because you can't survive any other way. So if you want to continue to deal any damage, the only real way to do it is through the visions. And what you're on is an incredibly tanky build with some methods of proccing status effects. That's it. Hey, Dark Metal, thank you so much for the biddies. Oh, thank you. Maya will be very touched. Yeah, she likes us. No, it is. Maya abandoned us to our fate. Our gods are dead. Schnax, we're not giving them enough money, is what he's saying. I mean, that's part of it. But no. You guys are doing plenty. But yeah, we've got to figure out, ways to make it work. We're getting there. It's growing. That's all we need. Dark Metal with a bitception today. Alright. Let's actually pull this thing. That's what she said. I don't have an ult to start. That was a little bit dumb. And my headset starts sliding off my head immediately after I pull. For God's sake. When he does that move... when he crouches, like he's picking something up off the floor, that's when he's going to do the spike out of the ground. Yeah, sometimes you get snared though, so you can't do anything about it. That sucks. Okay, we're good. Good idea actually to heavy attack when you see him go to the middle. So I learned a lot about this fight when I was soloing it yesterday with you guys. One is don't circle him too close, because when he picks a target, he's not on a timer before he changes direction. He will walk all the way over to where you are. And then, once he reaches that point, then he will turn and look and acquire a new target. So if you just circle him in the middle, he will reach you or where you were, and then he'll immediately turn and you'll be in danger, potentially. So don't circle him too close. You'd never know this unless you come in here by yourself, which apparently no one does.
A mere practice round. You feel overconfident.
Oh, the fear is so annoying. All the CCs are incredibly annoying. I prefer the crow fight. There's more damage, incoming damage, but it's just less tedious. Alright, we can get him down to 40. We can skip the mechanics. There we go. I can just start heavy attacking him.
Crouch! He must not hear or see you.
So a good idea is to head over to the side. Straight away. Erin, thank you so much for the gifted sub. To Maya the Legend. Who's Maya the Legend? What a great name. How appropriate. Headset has a mind of its own, yeah. Exactly. See, if I'd been close to the middle when I baited him with that second position, that one I just got would have been very, very dangerous. It's actually quite an easy fight to do. But, like yesterday, there were a couple of people who were genuinely baffled. Why are you even soloing? How are you even soloing this? It's just sustain. It's horrible. That's really it.
I will find you.
Right, we should be able to get a couple of these. And then I think we're good. Oh, just one. And you can see a little dark patch on the ground before he comes in. If you're using Rune or some other pre-buff. Okay, I'm gonna have to heavy attack here because I'm out of resources, and the lasers are now coming in. Got a little bit unlucky with the sneaky phase there, and here in execute, you need more damage than I've got here to skip the scarecrows. Might even be worth ulting them, to be honest. And use as many Magicka abilities as you can. Yeah, see, this is when it can go horribly wrong. I've not got the sustain. Come on. Yeah. I managed my sustain poorly. It feels worse than it did on my other character. What have I got? What am I doing differently? Oh, I'm wearing One Piece light. That might be it. That might be it, actually.
Your eyes can't be trusted in this
Fuck,
realm.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, the One Piece light is ruining it. That's how sensitive it is. And I don't have a medium. Fudge. Don't have anything else. A mask of any kind. Hey, stamina recovery. Done. Good old Storm Fist. That should sort it out, even though it'll lower my damage a little bit. Hey, getting forked up by his weird roots. Yeah, it's not. It's just the sustain. Oh shoot! I'm also running max stat food. You know what? Screw it. Slime Crawl's going back on. That's the actual mistake. I wondered why my sustain was so fucking bad. I was still on max health food. Yeah, don't run that here. Not worth it. Normally that is definitely a thing you want to do for survivability, but because this rotation is easy to sustain in normal circumstances, but in here, it's just a huge pain in the butt. $76. $71. Come on, dude, let's go. Just Maya the Barbarian's good twin.
Crouch. He's too powerful like this.
Also, I don't think you need to be sneaking until he actually has the lantern in hand. Bookmatic, I still think trials should allow solo stealth players to run through. No. No, of course they shouldn't. For the chests. No, you should embrace the fact that it's an MMO. Come on. I get where you're coming from, but no, I think if I were on the dev team, I would absolutely refuse that suggestion. I suspect there's a large minority of players who would probably echo your sentiment, though. Like for the quote, realism, if I'm good enough a thief to get by the whole castle guard and rob a king's castle, MMOs aren't about realism, though. Otherwise, we wouldn't play, because the first time we died, that'd be it. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Hello there.
Things that are hard-coded so that the stealth doesn't work. Hello there. Hey, Peter, how's it going? I've just got to get him to 50, then 40. I just wish they'd thought of more tricks than just, let's nuke everyone's sustain. It's very unenjoyable to play. You can get a little bit of pleasure out of avoiding his AoEs, playing that little mini game. Alright, let's heavy attack.
Crouch. You must stay hidden for now.
Hey, Anna Mikhaila face. Welcome on in. Thank you very much for the follow.
Am I getting warmer?
No, you're not getting warmer, you're getting more annoying. Dipshit. Oh, that's a bad one. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm not even going to go for that middle one. Yeah, because he's turning around immediately. Even this one was a little dangerous. Fuck. You see what I mean? If you stay too close to the middle, he's always just going to be moving around that area. You've got to go off to the sides a little bit. Even though it rinses your stam more. You can also just stop moving and wait for your stam to come back up. A little bit. The drain is much less severe if you're by yourself. In a lot of ways, it is a bit easier. A bit more consistent to do it solo.
Let my jack-o'-lantern fly. Now
Right, we've got it down to 20. But we're going to have to do the scarecrows. I tried skipping them, and yeah. Sure, it's doable, but you need like a really nukey setup. Oh, my fucking cat is climbing all over me. Oh no, seriously? Is I gonna die because of that guy? I hate that cat sometimes. No! Yeah, that goddamn cat, I swear to God. Teddy, I hate you. He literally chose that very moment to start clambering all over my keyboard, and I had to, like, take 4 seconds with hands off mouse and keyboard to get him off. That's pretty funny. What countdown timer are you using? Countdown timer? I'm not sure what that means. Teddy, fuck off. Cat was doing it again, so he's being escorted out of the room. Dogs for the win, yeah. I mean, the dog could do it as well. She could distract me, but yeah. I'm just wondering if that's going to make a difference. I feel like the stamina drain almost scales to the amount that you have available. It felt almost as bad then with pass food. Lady Kumiko, yeah, well, countdown timer. I'm not sure what that means. Stormfist does sound like a porn star in D&D. It kind of does, yeah. Mike, EVG, the world is so shit I can accept a nuke right next to me. Yikes. Immovable pots is not a bad idea.
Give up now.
They're not needed, though.
They are illusions. Don't be shaken by them.
I just don't know why my stamina management is so much rougher than yesterday.
Nothing tastes so sweet as the tear from a broken hero.
Yeah, it's when he's doing that. You want to make sure you're not standing in the poop. Everything else he does is kind of okay. The jumps that the ads do are very annoying. Like that. Just a few more percent and we can push him to phase 1.
Crouch. He's too powerful like this.
Best moment, honestly. Mike, I'm thinking of doing another account on ESO NA, but without ESO Plus, just for the experience. Why would you do such a thing? And thanks for all the meows. Loved it. Give Ted a treat. Yeah, not gonna happen. I'll go and give him lunch in a little while. Oh, what a nice spawn. They're gonna go for a run in winter, but without clothes, just for the experience. So for me, yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts are at. I can end up going swimming naked with piranhas, just for the experience. Simuli, welcome on in, and Vader, thank you very much for the follows. Alright, where is he?
Practice well. Do you feel overconfident?
Do you know what I mean? It's just CC after CC. There's nothing else really going on of any interest or... I'm not sure what attack it is that the ads do. It might be their jump. That if they hit you with a jump, it snares you, and then it's harder to avoid his thorns.
Face your doubt. Your fears within will now come out.
I'm not gonna ult. Because I want to save it for the execute. There we go, 40%. Hey, Wolf Legend.
Crouch. He must not
Welcome
hear
on
or
in. Thank you
see
very much for the follow. Sorry, you joined me in the middle of a fight. It's not actually very difficult. I'm making it look 10 times harder than it is. But the execute, I've just got to make sure I don't run out of stam, which is very easy for me to do. Can we start a petition to destroy all cats? Absolutely not. They're so beautiful and sweet and funny. But yeah, they are also without understanding in a way which is not their fault, but very frustrating to deal with sometimes. When you're used to dogs, especially the way I am. Alright, so I can kite him this way. Now I know I'm safe until he gets there. I honestly didn't know that that's how this mechanic worked until yesterday, when I did it with you guys on stream. Never really paid attention to it, because if you're solo, it's just kind of a weird, annoying fight, and if you're with a group, he just gets melted. There we go. I think we only need one more, is that right? Or maybe, yeah, one more. Also, I'm a little bit under pen, I think, compared to the Arcanists. So we can get him down to 20 before we have to move. Nice. Once you get 2 of them down, you're generally okay. Why can't I fire a bow? Oh, I've got no magicka. Okay. Get rid of the last one. I've just got to tab target the right guy in there. And now, hopefully, should be good. Don't focus the trees at this point, but if you can take a couple of them down, obviously go for it. Such chaos by the end here. You just want to get rid of him. Yeah, I made a stupid decision to alt the ads there. I thought he would port right into the middle of them. That's what he did yesterday, but yeah. Try it. It takes way too long. Oh, actually, apparently that took about the same amount of time as my Arcanist. My Arcanist was a little bit quicker. Stormfist didn't seem to help at all. It's weird. It is like it scales to your recovery, so it's not unfair to Magicka users. So, yeah, maybe I'm approaching this wrong. But either way, swimming naked is amazing for your libido, apparently. A nucleotide, thank you for the follow, especially in cold waters. Not sure if playing on NA is good for your libido, yeah. Why the hatred towards cats then? Like, cats are evil, okay? Like drugs. Say no to cats, okay? I always think of the Mr. Mackey character when I look at the map and look at Straws Mackay. Where is it? Straws Mackay. But it doesn't allow solo completion. They have to be in a group. No, no, no. It's soloable. That's the whole point. It's in many ways it's easier if you're by yourself. You just have to nuke him in phase 1 and 2 before the totems cause any trouble. That's easy enough. I'm not even bringing that much damage really. And then in execute, you have to do the totems. I've tried skipping them. It didn't seem like it was possible. But maybe if you brought like an Acuity Baylog setup. Now that's what we've been doing, because I've been working on a especially during the Writhing Wall event. I see this all the time, but during the Writhing Wall event, Book Magic, and now again in the Witches Festival, I see so many people just fall over dead to stuff which shouldn't kill them. And it's not me bagging on you're a bad player, you've got a bad build, nothing like that. It's just, hey, I guess you don't realize how much survivability you can give yourself without sacrificing any damage at all. And it's so easy, and has been ever since subclassing arrived, and partly to do with the change to Pragmatic Fate Carver as well. The fact that it's now direct damage. I just feel like we should publicize that a little bit better than we have up to this point. Right, how many feathers can we get? See if we can do the crow as well. 10. That's not very good. It's easier in a group. I said in some ways, it's... I don't want other players to fuck it up for me. And that is what happens if you group with randoms. It is. It's just more fun doing it like this. But yeah, of course, if you just want it done fast, it's the fact that people don't even realize you can solo it. We legit had people coming in here yesterday saying, "That is insane, you're soloing this game." It's like, it's really not insane. I'm not doing anything that anyone watching isn't capable of replicating extremely easily. It's just about buffs, potions, food, and then CPs to a degree. Yeah, I never said groups can't do it. I don't think you're understanding the point of this. No one solos dungeons because they think you're supposed to solo them and that groups can't do it. It's because it is possible. Like, why'd you climb that mountain? Because it's there. Because I can. And everyone can, they just don't realize it. And this is why I've shown this same approach in solo arenas, where obviously you have to do them solo. You can't even use companions in there. And that's been really helpful. But I feel like, just as a general approach to Overworld as well, a lot of people could benefit from understanding that they can equip Major Resolve. They can get Major Brutality and Sorcery. They can get Major Prophecy and Savagery. All from slotting the right abilities. And then you can use Tri-Stat Potions, which mean you don't need Sustain Food the vast majority of the time. So then you use Max Health Food. It's what players do in Trials all the time. Right? It's what DDs do in Trials all the time. We don't normally bother with Major Resolve because we get that given to us by a tank. But all the other things we do routinely, or at least the people I play with, the people who get Trials done, that's what they do. And I think just a lot of players who don't do Trials routinely, or don't do organized Trials, are probably overlooking... No one's told them, basically. That's what the last few days have been about. It's just... And soloing the world bot, the event boss, most of the time he's not even available. I'm just doing it because it's there. And it's a thing that no one bothers to solo because they think it would be too hard. It's not. It's just a bit slow. But in a lot of ways, it is easier. Like, I died because of other people's mistakes. When I went in there yesterday, someone invited me to a group because they they didn't realize I wanted to solo it. So they invited me to a group instance, and I was like, oh, what the hell, I'll join you guys. And I literally got killed twice by players who weren't doing the mechanics properly. So in a lot of ways, I'd rather just do it by myself. Actually, the optimal way for me would just be to get Maya or one of you guys, and we do a 2 or 3 person clear. Done. Very easy, very clean. But yeah, the fact that it is soloable seems to be news to some people. So yeah, I thought we'd just put that in the streets. I'm getting voodoo dolled in ESO. Lancelot.
I have been expecting you.
You know, sometimes I really ask myself how I'm dying out of nowhere in ESO, like NCI yesterday. This one was super odd. Yeah, I mean, it can happen. But if it is, and you realize you're not getting major resolve from your tanks, then this is another time when, you know, and these principles will be very useful to have in the back of your mind. And you just reach for them by default. It's not like you become unkillable. There are plenty of things that are soloable in this game. Like, for example, Hyperioxys has soloed the first 2 hard modes in Rockgrove. Hard modes. Not veteran. Hard modes. He's done this by himself. Now, that is clearly a thing that is possible to do. Can this build do it? Fuck no. Not in a million years. Literally not possible. You have to build differently. But I don't think everyone, when they talk about having some solo or survivability in their build, they're not talking about making a completely new build for it. That is, you know, a level of specialism that most players don't get into. Man, I haven't got any of the way shrines here. Lucky Hands, I soloed that boss on a magic Alcast solo build when they first implemented the Hollow Jack boss. Are you sure that wasn't the Crow? But also a stamina solo build by Hyperioxys. Depends what it's for. Hyper doesn't just make a build that is solo. He'll be making it for something. And to work in a specific way. So if, for example, you've got an infinite sustain setup, then that boss is going to be... If you just somehow manage to have stamina for days, then all of the difficulty in that fight is gone. And as someone else suggested, it was you in fact, wasn't it, Lucky Hands? Immovability pots. And part of the issue is dealt with. I'm not making a... I'm not trying to make solo builds for specific fights. This isn't a solo build. This is the kind of typical thing that DDs are running around with in Overland, but with just a few tweaks to make sure that they won't die to regular things. Demonstrating on the Hollowjack boss is way beyond overkill. It's just to prove the point, you know? Yeah, Miyun, I got all the pages in a Hollowjack plunder box. I'm actually shook. Yeah, Yemsukt got all of those on, she posted on our Discord. Or rather, they posted on our Discord.
That's you. Oh, where has that dog gone?
Happened to be on my first day too. Crow gave me all the Wicked Jane style pages. So apparently it's quite common. There are some people saying, oh, that must be a bug. I would imagine it's not a bug. But who the hell knows? I certainly don't. Yeah, you never know. No, I shouldn't go that way. Just aggro a load of things pointlessly. Sacrifices are for losers. Okay, time for me to go out for a walk. Alright, Erin, catch you later.
Traveler, can you stop?
Khan is just OP. Yeah, that's the opposite takeaway. The one we should be having though, isn't it? Khan the Dragon Slayer. Let's do it. So somebody mentioned this one, right? Centurion's Rise. I hate this one. Solo or grouped, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Book Magic, I disagree. No, because a PvP build sacrifices a ton of damage. A ton of damage. And it is not designed for a long sustained fight like that. So you literally stop dealing damage to go and do something else, to get your resources back or to heal yourself up. PvP is a completely different approach. A PvP build, if you've got a character which has got, say, a standard trial damage setup on it, and then you've got your... Where is he? Your armory assistant, you go to the armory, and there's a PvP setup in there. Yeah, grab the PvP setup, and your work is done. That'll be fine. But the point is, that sacrifices an enormous amount of damage in terms of PvE. It's not the same. What I'm saying is that people do not need to make a whole separate build. You just do 4 things. 1, get Major Resolve. 2, get Brutality, Sorcery, Savagery, Prophecy, the standard damage buffs. They're so easy to get now. 3, use Tri-Stat Potions. And 4, then you can use food with more max HP. That way you don't need to move any attributes. You don't need to change your Mundus. You don't even need to change your gear. You're just tweaking these 4 very, very easy things, and you're good to go. And you can solo an alarming amount of content, which isn't even supposed to be soloable, let alone the stuff which is. So I think you're missing the point. And I'd prefer to just move on, rather than just being pestered, if that's okay. I mean, if I'm getting you wrong, then my apologies to you. But I feel like you're just trying to find fault with everything I say. Am I wrong about that? There is a point to this. And it is to help players understand something which is not often talked about. And which most players seem to be... A lot of players clearly are missing. And then to help them survive and clear more stuff. It's as simple as that. And no, not every PvP build is a solo build. That's demonstrably false to say that. What about small scale? What about ball groups? These are PvP builds. Are they solo? No. Do they work solo? No. Sure, if you Google ESO PvP build, the first thing you're likely to come across is a solo 1vx type setup. Sometimes it'll be a healer setup, but you're right that generally that is what they are. But that doesn't mean that PvP equates to solo. It absolutely does not. Especially at the higher end. Anyway. Kiera Sesko is saying, what about Southern Elsewhere Dragon? Oh no, don't make me do that. Lancelot, I have to go off already because I'm going to see family for a bit. I'll be back later. I hope you're still here when I return. Yeah, no worries. Hopefully we will be. Have a good one and see you later. And Myun, I saw it. I think that person's post gave me good luck. I swear, I replied. Yeah, there we go. Need an extra DD for the boss? Dark Metal? Feel free. Let's just pull it and we'll see. Let's switch back to the other food again. Book Magic is saying there's a huge difference in PvP builds for ball groups and solo PvP. That's exactly what I'm saying, yeah. I could be misreading you, Book Magic. I don't get this very often. But I hang out with other streamers, friends of mine who stream, who regularly get, like, someone being difficult in their chat. I'm assuming this is one of those, but like I said, apologies if I'm just reading you wrong. My bad. But I don't really feel like arguing. I know that what I'm doing here is worthwhile and is going to help people. Like in terms of the basic advice. As long as I choose my words carefully and don't give people the wrong idea. Like the thing I hate more than anything else is seeing solo anything, God mode Templar, or whatever it is. Oh no no no! Again, CC'd. That is some of the worst YouTube thumbnail or like advice that you can give. worst kind of snake oil salesmanship you can have as a content creator. Oh, I'm not going to be able to solo it now because loads of people just arrived. Why is break free not working? I had to do it 3 times. It's like I'm in, speaking of PvP. That's what this feels like. This is the tricky bit though, isn't it? This is why you guys were saying, oh, go and do that one. Because when the ogres spawn in, that is when shit suddenly hits the fan. Oh, this is way too easy now. That's a shame. Right, if we can get them to stack, which they generally don't do. Major resolve has run out. Careful, careful. Although I have to say as well, in fairness, I mentioned this earlier, when I was testing some of this stuff and trying to get footage for the video, I did notice I did a couple of tests on particular world bosses and things like the what's it called? The Crowborn Horror, things like that hit a little bit harder. A Harrow Storm. I did these things without major resolve and it still worked. So actually, major resolve, it makes things a lot easier. But if for some reason you are on if you don't have access to it, like you've got, I don't know, Assassination, Herald of the Tome, Adric Spear, obviously no major resolve in any of those skill lines. So you could either go with balance, I suppose, or you could just skip it and see if it works without. Because I was actually surprised at how easy it was still to solo some of these world bosses we were doing yesterday without major resolve. The goal was to do one without major resolve and then slot it and then see what the difference was. And it was like, well, there's no need because I've just cleared it. Alright, book magic. Well then, I repeat my apology then. I just completely misunderstood what you were saying. So, you weren't arguing. Half of what I was saying was what I wish the game had or did, not about you. Well, I'm glad I didn't just bitch at you and tell you to be quiet then. That would have been the wrong move. Alright, thanks for the clarification. And I know what you meant about the sets earlier as well. That they will just not tell us that a thing might be broken or not working as intended. Man, a few of my friends and I were real annoyed when we learned about Yandir, for instance. Thank you for the cheer, Eggbirds. Thank you so much. Yeah, Malcolm for PvP, very helpful. Decimus. I mean, there are some really, really good ones, aren't there? And thank you for the stretch and hydrate. Dark Metal, appreciate it. Malcolm's helped me a lot. Like something else, I want to see you kill a Dwagon. I don't think I've ever even tried. Should we try it? Or it was Southern Elsewhere specifically, wasn't it? Because you can get different types. I don't think I can do that with this setup. I think they deal too much damage. They can obviously... They are soloable. But yeah. Not with this. Like, this isn't a quote-unquote solo setup. A solo build. Also, do I have any Tideborn? I don't, do I? Rip. Well, so for me, what is a PvP build anyway? There's a ton of different builds for different purposes. Yeah, but generally, I think that sort of the general point Book Magic was making that for a build to be functional, for it to like pass muster in PvP, it does need to have a degree of self-sufficiency. But not always, like I said. Some of the setups that I've had most fun with have been specifically designed to work in a group of 3. Yeah, I can still run around and get kills and whatnot. in Zero, but there are gaps in the comp, even if I'm not just like a DD or a tank being in a trial by themselves. So it looks like people are already here, so I might not even get the chance to do anything. Yeah, a couple of people at least. I wish people would stop turning them. I get it though. If you're like on a squishy build and you got to kite it, this means I have to keep spinning around as well. Man, he is turning left and right all over the place. Yeah, did not get a chance to see if I could tank it for very long, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You might have to add something to the mix, like even something as simple as resolving vigor. Major resolve for what? 15, 20 seconds? 20. Minor resolve, sorry. Actually, resists are a little low on this character. Why is that? Thank you very much for the follow. Yeah, well, so for BA, what people mean by PvP build is a ton of health, and then we're at that trade-off point again. King Hellfire, hey yeah. How's it going? Get to the chopper! And Erin, hello! Allow me to explain. A PvP build is a build which has a healer, tank, and DPS all in it. I mean, I think that's what most of us mean in general, yeah. But technically, yeah, we're not going to argue about that. Yeah, you need to be able to heal yourself, not die immediately, also do some damage, sourcing some common buffs like brutality, savagery, etc., yeah. There's definitely overlap. The advice, like if you already have a PvP build, to use it for a world boss that is munching through your regular DPS setup, that's not bad advice at all. If you've already got one, use it. But if you don't, I wouldn't necessarily say a PvP build is the place to start. Now, there are some fundamentally different things. Just wanted to discover that way shrine. It's triggering me. Shout out to Eggbirds. Eggbirds is an awesome streamer that you should go check out and follow. Since when? I can't remember, Eggbirds. Have you actually streamed? I don't remember. Zombie Crow gifted a sub from Erin. Thank you so much, Erin. Look at that. Yeah, the trade-off is that you are not best at any one thing. Damage in bursts, not sustained damage for a long time. Same in healing and tanking aspects. Yeah. So the difference with what I'm talking about here is you're still 100% geared towards damage. You're just making some tweaks that don't actually lower your damage in any regard. Or certainly not in any significant regard. I kind of wanted to do horror stuff in Tamriel, but having too much fun just soloing random stuff. Is anyone triggered by the staff? I do think they should fix that. On weapons that disappear when you sheath them, they should maybe get rid of the merciless effect. Erin, thank you so much for that. Yeah, Cyborg DK's hardened arm for mage resolve, pretty good. Yeah, but does it deal damage? That's the thing. Hurricane deals damage, and it comes with all of these passives, which are gorgeous for a DD. You're absolutely right. Spiked armor, either morph. I mean, corrosive might be... Not corrosive. Oh my god, help me out, guys. What's the other morph? I'm being dumb. You know, the poison spike version. You could obviously use that. The ability is cool. But then you've got all these draconic armor passives that... suddenly we're not a DD anymore. We're a compromised DD. That's sort of the idea. Oh, we've got 2 dragons up now. And Miona, by the way, I think I ganked you once in Imperial City, but I only realized after who you were. So I never knew your in-game name until recently. Perfectly possible. I've definitely killed people that I know and realized too late once we're in combat. It's like, oh shit, that's my friend. Never mind, they had it coming. Now I'm just curious. I'll repeat my estimate that I will be useless against this. I just don't think this solo setup has quite enough armor to be able to handle this solo. Could be wrong. Either way, it's going to be a long fight. WolfCatCom, thank you for the follow. Yeah. You need to block the heavies for a start. Well, oh shit, I should have checked. What even was that? Chomp. 26k? To be fair, so through block, can definitely survive that. Might be worth slotting... Resolving. See, I'm already making compromises here. So that's annoying to have to do that on a beam build. So the breath is also a problem. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's worth it. Because by the time I make enough tweaks to this setup to be able to do that, to be able to survive the basic hits, it's not going to be a DPS setup anymore, which is sort of the point, you know? Yeah, it's a fun idea. I just, as predicted, don't think you can solo that with this type of setup. You need something a bit more like a traditional PvP setup with real big resists. And able to just sit there, take damage for a while, recover, and then switch back to dealing damage. But yeah, any more requests, by the way? So that was a chat request. Go and solo a dragon, even though we knew it wasn't going to work. Dark Metal, my PvP character uses front bar DPS and healing black bar. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a Gloam... What's it called? Gloam-bound staff, I think it is. But yeah, what staff? Always carry movable pots in PvP. Toxic spikes, no clue. Corrosive, yeah. Hey, Mackie Phoenix, how's it going? Welcome on in. Hey, give it up for Mackie Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Mackie. Nice beaver. Thanks. I just had it stuffed. Let me take that for you. Give it up for Mackie, guys. If you're not already following, do it. I'll make it easy. Typing is hard, but I managed it. I just had it stuffed. That's why I carry this gun. Aren't you afraid it'll go off? I used to have that problem. Now I just think about baseball. Alright, we're not going to do Naked Gun quotes for the next hour. Welcome on in, Line of S. David, what level? What level am I? This is a top level character. Technically, it's CP 3321, but level 50, CP 160 is kind of all you need to know. The point was, this is like an overworld, or it's like a tweak to the standard. We've got a YouTube video coming out, and we decided to talk about it a little bit. With the events happening, I see so many people dying to stuff they shouldn't be dying to. So Maya and I decided, Maya is the other half of Ninja Pulls. My name is Khan. Together, we run the show here. And she said, hey, it'd be a good idea to put out this video on just like basic survivability. We're not talking about a PvP build. We're not talking about a tank build. We're not talking about a quote-unquote solo build. We are talking about a pure damage setup that just has some tricks and little utilities built in that aren't compromising on damage, but that give you that survivability, which means you will not die to siege camps. You will not die to harrow storms. So, you know, these things which players can easily die to. And I think with the Writhing Fortress coming up, Phase 3 of this event, that's going to be especially useful. There are a lot of things in there that can kill you, but if you just bring a modicum, like the basic level of survivability, you'll be laughing. It's going to be difficult for you to die, except in a couple of places. But yeah, so that's the idea. And we've been getting carried away because we realized it was fun to take the setup, which is not particularly solo worthy, and just see what it can do. So there's not much skill involved. It's just me putting on some basic buffs and things, and people have been calling out, oh, I hate this world boss, or I love this world boss, or go and do this, go solo that. And I think the dragon is the first thing that we couldn't do. Possibly Centurion's Rise in Westweald. Didn't get the chance because I died and then 4 people showed up. But that one's definitely like borderline. But I suspect it can be done if you get lucky and play it very well. Try roll dodging the last tick like you tank Loki. It's nowhere near as dangerous. Also, if I'm beaming, I'm not going to dodge. But yeah, it's a good point. Every single shenanigan-filled part of my body is telling me to go in and tap the dragon once. Just to say, well, technically, Khan didn't solo it. I mean, you didn't need to, did you? How about singing us some Celine Dion? That's a request. But how has that got anything to do with soloing? You want me to solo Celine Dion? Mate, gladly. We talking like late 90s Celine Dion or... No, that's awful. I don't know if you know, but I can actually sing. But I'm not going to do that. Not today. Maybe. Maybe there'll be a stretch goal one day. We do actually have a song that we're working on for you guys. But it's an Elder Scrolls song. And Ethereus-bound weapons also have that issue with the glowing parts. Yep. Baseball, huh? Yeah. King Hellfire. Alright, gotta walk the dog. See you later. Have a nice one. Thank you, thank you. No singing, Khan? Come on. What's a good Celine Dion song? She did that song Immortality with the Bee Gees. That's a bit of a fucking tune. Hey, Elder TDG, thank you so much. 3 months in advance. That is a genius sub right there. Thank you. Hype, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I've still just about got the energy to get excited about that. Thank you so much for the sub. That is very, very kind of you. Hugely appreciated. Alright, just for Elder TDG. And for Ahelt and Dark Metal. I'm going to humiliate myself in 3, 2, 1. Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to love for the power of love. How's that? My dog is looking at me with such fucking disdain right now. That's a Celine Dion song, right? I think it is. Maya's dad freaking loves that song. He puts it on in the car like all the time. And it's like, oh, come on. Do you have any other music? Queen is the only other music he has. It's always Celine Dion. Je danse dans ma tête. Book magic. I don't think I know that one. I know what it means, but yeah. Toad Tongue War Camp in Blackwood is a fun one. Yeah, we did that one yesterday. And Adam had, I think tanking can often have one buff check in terms of major resolve. Jokes aside, I know what you mean. That's gotta be you, right? God damn it. I don't know what your emote means, Egbert. Jennifer Rush. I don't know. Hey, Valley, how's it going? That was awesome. Oh, thanks. It was shit, but thank you. I haven't even picked up the dailies on this character.
Forgive me for skipping past the work you were doing.
I'll do the Undaunted song better. Be around for our next drunk stream, and you'll probably hear a little bit of that. But yeah, we wanted to talk a little bit about horror in ESO before we finish. Man, the stream has just flown by today. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate the company, the chats. I'm sorry when I fall behind a little bit with combos, but it's only because you guys are popping like crazy. Indeed, that was me, yeah. Alright, so, I was going to say, let's port somewhere else for this. I actually don't need these. What other bosses can we do? Oh yeah, the Vox Rona boss. Someone was saying. I think I soloed that on the PTS, but I really don't remember. It's not a drunk stream? No. Why do I sound drunk? Apologies. That's just my general lack of intelligence and slurred speech pattern. Maya tells me it's endearing, Cyborg. Let me have this. Alright, so, what was I saying? There's actually a lot of horror in ESO. Kind of easy to miss if we're not thinking about it. But Elder Scrolls has got a ton of horror in it from the start. Like, some of the monsters and concepts, even in the early games, were pretty nasty. You know, you've got necromancy, demons, you know, the Daedra are basically demons in any other franchise. There is some of that cartoonish fantasy stuff going on. That's typical of video games, but I think it has less than most. Oh no, this is not the right one. It's up there, isn't it? I was thinking of Celine, the way she appears in Arena. So the very first game, you guys may not know this, but Celine is in Celine's Web, Lair of Marcelok. She's in there. Let me grab this way shrine since I don't have it. She is fucking horrific in the first Arena game. We don't get to meet her or see her directly, but she is described in detail. Basically, she's decided at this point in the timeline that the local Bosmer suck and they all need to die. It's easy to see why she might hate elves after what we see in this game. So she raises an army of giant spiders, and she starts dabbling in necromancy. And get this, she captures stray elves in the forest, she sucks them dry of all their fluid like a spider, and then reanimates their empty corpse to wander around and attack. So she's got an army of undead and spiders threatening all of Valenwood. Like, that's pretty messed up. And that's just the first game. And I think one of the things I want to do during the Witches Festival is just find other horror stuff that's in this game. Ah, shoot, I'm not going to have time to solo this one, I don't think. We'll give it one quick pull. Boop. And I have an empty skill on my back bar now because I got rid of Vigor. But yeah, these guys deal a lot of damage, I seem to recall. And I don't have an AoE source of major breach, which sucks. But yeah, so far, it looks soloable, doesn't it? Looks completely doable. Like, I think we've seen all the mechanics now. Just gotta be careful when you redo your buffs. Whenever you're not fate carvering, you're in danger, basically. Once again, this is not a solo build. This is just a DPS setup with some tweaks. Basic tweaks. Well, one is almost dead. Do they enrage when one of them dies? I forget. I don't think I've ever soloed it on live, so I really don't know. Oh shit! No! That, to be fair, that was a flail just not going off. But anyway, I don't think we have time to try that again. But yeah, that's definitely soloable. Just don't fuck it up or don't get zossed. I feel like I've had that a lot. I'm guessing it's the double event thing. Just the servers are a little bit more overloaded, especially at the weekend. I don't know if you guys have had that, but logins are taking longer. Sometimes they crash halfway through. The login doesn't work. Wait, what? Where can I find that? Not that I want to be sucked. Try. This is in Elder Scrolls Arena, the very first game. Just play it. Or go to uesp.net, Dark Metal, and look it up. Yeah, I too would like to know. I mean, better know how to avoid it. Doesn't happen to your character, don't worry. You just have to hunt down and collect the heart of Selene and then deliver it to the king. Anyway, we are going to have to leave it there for tonight. Deposits coin in the jukebox, Lucky Hands, and says, Ragnar the Red. Alright, that's another one. We've got Red Diamond coming up first. Want to do like a 3-part harmony version. And some of the quests in base game are full of horrific situations, book magic. Exactly. Many with terrible options. Yeah, there's a lot of it done on the page, like not on screen. But yeah, I definitely want to revisit that during this event. Because in a lot of ways, the Witches' Festival doesn't really live up to it. In a game which is so loaded with horror. I want to do Shipwright's Regret with you guys. Maybe we'll pencil that one in for Tuesday. That... We are on tomorrow, but it's a housing thing. And Monday, I think it's a day off. So please stop by tomorrow. Maya and I will both be here. No way. So that'll be cool. Oh, never mind then. Yeah, are you sure it wouldn't have happened to me? All right. Thank you so much for the company today. Once again, if there's anything I can do for you guys to show my gratitude for your support, do let me know, and I'll think about it. Jesus, I just sang Celine Dion. Oh no, Anglophone Tamriel. Oh no, we're about to raid off. But don't worry, we're going to raid off to somebody awesome. I mean, Mackie Phoenix isn't streaming, so fuck. What are we going to do? I'm sure we'll find someone. Oh, Trash Ash is here. Man Benug is also there. Ooh. I think it's been a while since we raided Man Bear, so let's go. Right, guys, the usual rules apply. Stay for at least a few minutes, say hi to Man Bear. If you don't know him, definitely stay and say hello. He's a lovely, lovely guy. And finally, if you do agree, this is an awesome dude, hit that follow button.